Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I am the villain and steal the protagonist. I am lucky enough to become the protagonist. Chapter 1. At dusk, the afterglow of the setting sun filled the entire city. China, the imperial capital. In a university, a group of students were forming a circle around each other, with a man and a woman standing in the circle. Each one of them was full of novelty, and they all turned into melon-eating people, looking forward to the next development of the story. Zhao Hengyan, can you stop pestering me? How many times have I told you that I really don't like you? We are just ordinary friends. Can't we get along as classmates? It was the woman who spoke at this time. I saw that the woman was tall and the appearance on her face was very delicate. Everyone around her looked at her with salivation. The fair skin can be broken by blows, and the red lips are particularly gorgeous. The woman frowned slightly and looked at the man in front of her. Her beautiful eyes were full of coldness, and her disgust was not concealed at all. Everyone started talking when they saw this. What happened? I don't know. I guess Mr. Zhao licked the Korean school beauty again and was disliked. Do you know how to speak? What does licking mean? The beauty of the school, Han, is engaged to young Master Zhao. But Mr. Zhao has been giving gifts and greeting the Korean school beauty, and then he didn't even hold her hand. This is not licking her. Quote. Master Zhao is also very kind to the school beauty Han. Is it okay for the school beauty Han not to respond to you? Oh, what do you guys with shrimp heads know? Who said that accepting gifts means you have to respond? Ruoxuan, after so many years, can't you understand my love for you? The man in front of Han Ruoxuan asked in a sincere tone. The man's body stood on the spot like a tough green bamboo. His appearance is also very handsome, with sharply carved facial features, sword-shaped eyebrows and starry eyes, and a straight bridge of nose. The eyes are as deep and charming as the starry sky, making people look into them and be deeply attracted and forget everything else. I don't understand. You're not my type at all, do you understand? After Han Ruoxuan finished speaking, Zhao Hengyan immediately handed over a ring hidden in his pocket. After seeing the ring, the people around him immediately became uneasy. It's a top-grade 4th-level magic weapon. As expected of Mr. Zhao, he starts at the 4th level casually. Are you proposing with a 4th-level magic weapon? I don't know, keep eating melon. The magical weapons are sorted from low to high, levels 1 to 10, quasi-emperor level, saint level, and star level. Each level is divided into 4 sub-levels, upper, middle and lower. After Han Ruoxuan saw it, he took it naturally and turned around to leave. Ruoxuan. Zhao Hengyan wanted to take another step forward, but Han Ruoxuan threw his hand away and slapped him unintentionally. The next second, Zhao Hengyan suddenly felt like something was rushing towards him in his head. At this moment, he felt that his head was in great pain, as if it was about to burst. It hurts. When Han Ruoxuan saw this, she thought he was pretending to be pitiful, and the disgust in his eyes became even more intense. Hey, why am I here? Wasn't I hit by a car? At this moment, Zhao Hengyan murmured softly, and no one could hear what he was saying. He scanned everything around him with his eyes, feeling even more confused. Who I am? Where am I? What happened? He vaguely remembered that he was delivering food. Since it was almost time out, I tried my best to grab the red light. What he didn't expect was that the driver who knocked him away also stepped on the accelerator to increase his speed in order to seize the green light in the last few seconds. The next second he took off. What he didn't expect was that he was not in the hospital but in this strange place. It seems like, in college. Before he could react, thoughts flooded in like a tide. The pain became more severe, causing him to break out in a cold sweat. Zhao Hengyan was shocked. Did I wear a book? At this moment, Zhao Hengyan traveled to a novel he had recently read called The Return of the God of War. His current identity is the biggest villain in the early and middle stages of the book, the young master of the Zhao family, Zhao Hengyan. Hey, how dare you give me your last name? Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but complain about the main villain in the book. Because, he is not only the villain, but also the young master of the Zhao family, a top family. His family background is so invincible that he can really disappear with just one word. The Zhao family is a super family since the revival of spiritual energy, ranking among the top 5 in China. The Zhao family can be seen in every industry. Grandpa Zhao Zhenshan is one of the 6 powerful saints of the Hua Kingdom and the first marshal of the Hua Kingdom. His father, Zhao Zan, was one of the top 10 emperors of the Hua Kingdom and the commander of the first war zone of the Hua Kingdom. Mother Su Qingyu, the legitimate daughter of the reclusive Su family, controls several super companies and has huge wealth. My elder sister, Su Mengli, is a martial arts prodigy. It is said that she is the reincarnation of a saint and is known as the #1 person of the younger generation. As the young master and sole heir of the Zhao family, he has endless resources. It's just that Tianyu started out as a licking dog in his previous life. I, Zhao Hengyan, hate dog licking the most in my life. Recalling the days when I was delivering food on Blue Star, I don't know why I often encountered licking dogs. The licking dogs failed to lick me and ended up blaming me. Recalling that some time ago, I seemed to be delivering food to others. Note to the customer who ordered the takeout: when it is delivered, tell me that it is from XXX, and tell her I love you. Then after Zhao Hengyan followed his request, he refused directly. So he called the customer who placed the order to explain the situation. The licking dog didn't say anything and directly gave him a bad review, saying that he blamed himself for being too slow in delivering the goods and having such a bad attitude. Please, the rejection is not the fault of the product, the merchant, or me. It's the gift-giving fault, because the person giving the gift is the biggest mistake. Faced with these inexplicable complaints about dog licking, Zhao Hengyan planted a seed in his heart: don't let me meet a dog licking, or I'll chop each one down. In the book, although Zhao Hengyan is engaged to Han Ruoxuan, they are related by family. Han Ruoxuan has always been lukewarm to him, indifferent to him. But he kept licking it, and even after licking it, he gave away resources. I haven't licked my hand for several years, and I haven't even held hands. However, the male protagonist Chen in the book has not only held hands, but also slept with each other several times. Yes, it's the familiar protagonist named Yi again. In the days that followed, Zhao Hengyan still licked Han Ruoxuan without knowing it, and all the resources she gave him were used to support Chen. In the book, Chen's growth and the eventual destruction of the Zhao family are largely related to himself. Thinking back to the bull-like life in the past, Zhao Hengyan looked at everything in front of him and decided to change the plot to keep this kind of life. He sneered in his heart: now that I'm in your body, let me change the plot. I will protect your family, and I will raise your woman for you. Hey, Zhao Hengyan, stop pretending. Hearing someone calling him, Zhao Hengyan looked up. She is actually Han Ruoxuan, the first heroine in the book. It seems that it is still in the early stages and Chen has not yet developed. Zhao Hengyan, I don't like you at all, do you understand? Don't bother me anymore. Seeing that Zhao Hengyan was still silent, Han Ruoxuan felt a little more disgusted. Are you trying to attract my attention by pretending to be pitiful? Understand. Facing the cold-tempered woman in front of him, Zhao Hengyan felt a little more disgusted. He took my family's things, borrowed my family's name, and finally destroyed my family's door with the protagonist. A typical ungrateful, arrogant villain. It's good if you understand. If that's the case, then I, Han Ruoxuan, will tell you clearly here today that I don't like you. Let's break off the engagement. Good. Humph, if you don't mention it, I'm going to mention it. Faced with Han Ruoxuan's preemptive strike, Zhao Hengyan decisively agreed, fearing that the other party would regret it if he was too late. What, you agreed so quickly? Zhao Hengyan suddenly and decisively accepted to break off the engagement, catching Han Ruoxuan off guard. Yes, because you don't deserve it. Are you kidding me? I'm a top-notch rich young man and supervillain, and I'm still licking you. What's your level is my level. Facing Han Ruoxuan's shocked and confused look, Zhao Hengyan not only answered decisively, but also directly expressed what was in his mind. Because you don't deserve it. Just these few key words, the originally arrogant and cold-school beauty Han Ruoxuan was shocked to the point of emoji. Not only Han Ruoxuan, but also the people around were stunned. The picture at this moment seemed to be still, and everyone looked at the man in the center, Zhao Hengyan. Oh my god, did I hear it wrong? Has Zhao Xiao woke up? Zhao Xiao stopped licking. If Zhao Xiao stopped licking, then do I have a chance? Zhao Xiao, you smell so good. Quote. Han Ruoxuan's heart trembled when she heard it, and then she returned to her usual cold attitude. What's wrong with Zhao Hengyan? He actually said such a thing. I don't deserve it. Why did you keep following me in the past? Han Ruoxuan couldn't help but refute this. Although she didn't understand why Zhao Hengyan suddenly changed his attitude, she felt that this was just Zhao Hengyan's trick. After all, he had used such tricks to attract her attention before. Besides, if she didn't deserve it, then what was the matter with Zhao Hengyan licking her before? At this moment, Han Ruoxuan still didn't care about these small details. I mean, the matter of breaking off the engagement. Only I can break off your engagement, not you breaking off my engagement, understand? Zhao Hengyan no longer had the humbleness of the past, and showed a domineering and disdainful attitude, and said to him coldly. Okay, I don't care who breaks off who, I just know that I don't like you, and I don't want to get entangled with you. Since the engagement is broken off, from now on, we have nothing to do with each other. After saying that, Han Ruoxuan turned and left with a face full of resentment. At this moment, she didn't want to get entangled with Zhao Hengyan anymore, and Han Ruoxuan thought that Zhao Hengyan would come to beg her again in a few days. After all, she already had brother Yi Chen. Han Ruoxuan met Yi Chen by chance some time ago, and for some reason she was very attracted to him. She admired Yi Chen, a civilian genius, who relied on his own efforts and extraordinary talents. At a young age, he had reached the level of a fourth-level warrior, and was basically the first person of the younger generation on this campus. The realms in this book are divided into warriors, war spirits, war generals, war masters, war commanders, war clans, war kings, war emperors, war gods, quasi-emperors, great emperors, and war saints. Each level has 10 small stages represented by 1 to 10 stars. Yi Chen's unremitting self-improvement and hard-working qualities deeply attracted Han Ruoxuan's attention. In contrast, Han Ruoxuan was very disgusted with Zhao Hengyan, a rich young man who had no talent, did not work hard, and could only rely on family ability. Looking at Han Ruoxuan's leaving figure, Zhao Hengyan immediately shouted loudly. Wait a minute. After hearing this, Han Ruoxuan turned around and looked at Zhao Hengyan with disgust. Thinking, that's it. You regret it before you take 2 steps. The onlookers on the side talked about it. That's it. Han Shalwood just took 2 steps and young Master Zhao surrendered. I don't think there's anything else to eat. Forget it, let's go. Young Master Zhao, can you be more exciting and give the brothers something big? ... What? Regret it? Han Ruoxuan looked unhappy but looked at Zhao Hengyan with a bit of pride in her heart. No, I mean, since the engagement is broken, you should return the things to me. What? Han Ruoxuan looked at Zhao Hengyan blankly. Didn't he come to regret and admit his mistake? What? Bring me the 4th-level magic weapon I just gave you. After saying that, Zhao Hengyan immediately stretched out his palm and hooked his fingers. This made Han Ruoxuan unable to deal with it. He actually wanted her to return it. He is young Master Zhao, the heir of the Zhao family. How can he be so stingy? Don't you want to give it to me? Zhao Hengyan looked at the woman in front of him with a playful look. To be honest, she is really good looking, but her heart is a bit dark and her eyes are a bit bad. Here you go. Han Ruoxuan's beautiful eyes revealed disgust, and her originally gloomy face was now covered with frost. In my heart, I felt a little more disgusted with Zhao Hengyan, and a little more fond of Yi Chen. Mr. Zhao is so stingy. After returning the things, Han Ruoxuan was about to turn around and leave. I gave you the things, but the marriage must be cancelled. Don't worry, this is just one. I gave you all the money I gave you back then. Boom. Han Ruoxuan's heart suddenly rippled. Suddenly her delicate body trembled and she looked at Zhao Hengyan with cold eyes. What? Are you deaf? I want you to give back everything I gave you before. Zhao Hengyan looked unkind and stared at Han Ruoxuan fiercely. Suddenly, Han Ruoxuan felt that the air around her had become cold, and she felt frightened. How to pay this back? All the things that should be used were used before, how could they be returned, and some of them were given to Yi Chen and some of his friends. Han Ruoxuan was immediately frightened and speechless. You gave this to me before, how can you let me give it back? Han Ruoxuan tried to quibble. Haha, I gave it to you because you were engaged to me and are my fiancé. Now that the engagement is terminated, those who eat from my Zhao family will be spit out by me. Don't worry, I will have someone carry out the marriage certificate when I get back, and I will go to your house to cancel the engagement tomorrow. Zhao Hengyan read out each sentence one by one. Those ordinary and simple words now turned into huge rocks, hitting Han Ruoxuan's heart one by one. Suddenly, Han Ruoxuan felt that her chest was blocked and she couldn't breathe. Ding! Due to changing the direction of the plot, the villain system will be bound to you. Please trample the protagonist under your feet, the villain is the strongest. Suddenly, a mechanical sound appeared in Zhao Hengyan's mind, with a hint of secondary sound. Ding! The system is successfully bound to the host. The next second, a light curtain appeared in Zhao Hengyan's mind. His situation is recorded in detail above. Name: Zhao Hengyan. Villain value: 0. Luck: 50. Realm: War Spirit 6 stars. Fighting Spirit: White Tiger. Grade: B. Mind: None. Combat Skill: Meteoric Fist Quasi-Emperor level. Body Skills: None. Kung Fu: Mountain and Sea Technique Emperor level. Items: None. The quality of war spirits from small to large is G, F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS, SSR. Due to the first binding, the host will receive a novice gift package. Do you want to use it? Use. After looking at my shabby page, I immediately looked for something good to enrich myself. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heart of the Holy Spirit. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Sacred Magic. Afterwards, Zhao Hengyan entered the system space and took a look, and was stunned for a moment. The Heart of the Holy Spirit can upgrade any fighting spirit. As for Holy Magic, there is no grade marked, but it maintains the principle that the products produced by the system must be high quality, so it is definitely a good thing. Quote. The next second, the system added faintly, Host, as long as you can plunder luck from the protagonist, you can increase your villain value. Villain values can be purchased in the system mall or drawn by lottery. Then how do you rob the protagonist of his luck? Zhao Hengyan asked immediately. As long as the host intercepts the protagonist's opportunity or destroys the protagonist's Taoist heart, he can plunder his luck. Depending on the impact of the event, the luck of the plunder will also be different. It just so happens that I know how to rob the protagonist of the opportunity after reading the original work. But with systematic help, you will get twice the result with half the effort. I have things that the protagonist has, and I have things that the protagonist doesn't have. While Han Ruoxuan was standing there and being forced by Zhao Hengyan, a young man stood up from the crowd and came to the two of them. This person is the protagonist of the original work, Chen, who puts a hat on Zhao Hengyan. Looking at the upright and majestic young man in front of him. Although Zhao Hengyan knew who he was, he still asked with interest, Who are you? Who am I? Let me tell you. My name is Chen, and I hate you, the kid from a family who bullies others. Chen looked at Zhao Hengyan with cold eyes, his disdain not concealed at all. According to the description in the book, Chen was a martial arts genius and an SS-level fighting spirit. He was later promoted to an SSS-level fighting spirit when he encountered an unexpected encounter. Coupled with his commoner background, Chen simply disdained Zhao Hengyan, a genius, who relied on his family's power. In addition, in the original work, Zhao Hengyan used family power to exert power, which made Chen despise him even more. Chen, why are you here? Han Ruoxuan couldn't help but feel a sore nose when she looked at Chen, who came to stand up for her alone, and her heart was filled with emotion. In comparison, she felt even more disgusted with Zhao Hengyan's feelings at the moment. What, you, a rich young man, still want to bully others? Chen asked coldly. Zhao Hengyan wanted to laugh out loud at Chen's question. What is bullying? Why do you call me a bully when I take back my own things? You really got a gift does not equal accept it, right? It seems that the protagonist in the book has a bit of a brain, even though it was fun to watch him slap me in the face like crazy before. Looking back now, there is something wrong with my brain circuitry. Are you going to help her out? Zhao Hengyan looked at Chen with an evil smile. That's right. I just can't stand it when rich people like you bully others. Chen spoke sternly, word for word. Holy crap, is this guy so brave? This one named Chen looks so handsome. I also want a boyfriend like Chen. He feels so secure. This kid actually dares to offend Mr. Zhao. The melon-eating people around them suddenly felt that something good was coming. What can I say? You are very brave. Zhao Hengyan snorted coldly and asked with a smile. No, I'm very brave. I have just turned 18 this year and am already a general, and what you call young Master Zhao. Using the huge resources of the family, he is still just a fighting spirit. Zhao Hengyan's words seemed to hit the muzzle of his gun, and Yi Chen took this opportunity to mock him severely. I'll go, 18-year-old general. Really or not, the 18-year-old general is a genius that is unique among thousands. I heard that this kid is from a commoner background and doesn't have any resources to practice on his own. So this kid has the qualifications to be a great emperor. The people around me couldn't help but praise Yi Chen's strength when they heard about it. When Han Ruoxuan heard the people around her praising Yi Chen, she couldn't help but feel happy and a little proud. At this moment, Han Ruoxuan once again deepened her attitude towards the two. Okay, stop barking. Zhao Hengyan shook his head and smiled bitterly after hearing this. Since you are so brave, then why don't you repay it for her? If you say I bully others, then I will bully you. Is there anything you can do? You take my resources but don't give me any benefits. How can there be such a good business in the world? You kid wants to be in the limelight, I allow it. Just give me your stuff. Zhao Hengyan had a very arrogant attitude and teased Yi Chen crazily. After all, he is a villain, so why should he be so arrogant? Yi Chen was speechless by Zhao Hengyan's words. It seems like this. To be honest, Han Ruoxuan is indeed at fault. And he seems to have used a lot of cultivation resources. But admitting your mistake, this seems possible. I am Yi Chen, I am the son of destiny, I cannot make mistakes. Mistakes are also the fault of others and the fault of the world. Seeing Yi Chen's deflated look, Zhao Hengyan immediately added fuel to the fire. What, you won't give it, or you still can't afford it? Or are you using these resources? So you want to stand up for him, but you are unable to give them. As soon as these words came out, Yi Chen and Han Ruoxuan suddenly trembled and felt slightly frightened. The two looked at each other, not knowing what to say for a moment. Ding, I feel a little panic in the protagonist's heart and gain 50 villain points. I feel the panic in the heroine's heart and gain 150 villain points. Hearing the system prompt, the smile on Zhao Hengyan's face became even brighter. I didn't expect villains to be worth so much money. How did he know that Yi Chen also used some of the resources? At this moment, Han Ruoxuan felt slightly confused and a little bit scared. She thought to herself, Zhao Hengyan must have made a wild guess. He didn't know Yi Chen at all before this, how could he possibly know this? Everyone, look at it, don't say I'm bullying others. Everyone knows that I, Zhao Hengyan, have given so many things and resources to Han Ruoxuan or the Han family in the past few years. But, Han Ruoxuan, the school beauty of Han, looks like a cold goddess who ignores me and won't let me touch her. But look at how friendly Yi Chen looks when facing this guy. I've paid so much but got nothing out of it. Is it wrong to ask them to return the resources? Can my family be so prominent that it can morally kidnap me? Did I do anything evil? The two of them are now going to take the initiative and question me in turn. Isn't this bullying an honest person? When Zhao Hengyan saw the two people keeping silent, he immediately took advantage of public opinion and began to criticize. It seems like this. Young Master Zhao is right. The Korean school beauty always hangs on young Master Zhao, but now she has such a good attitude towards a strange man. It's okay, Mr. Zhao, I support you. Yes, Mr. Zhao seems to have never bullied ordinary people like us. These two people are clearly bullying honest people. Faced with the sudden insults, Yi Chen, who was originally at ease, suddenly became the target of public criticism. You are slandering, you have no evidence. Yi Chen calmed down and immediately fought back. Am I slandering? Then please come up with evidence to prove your innocence. Otherwise, you are just working with Han Ruoxuan, taking advantage of me and refusing to admit it. Zhao Hengyan sneered in his heart, he has read the original work, and all your actions are in my eyes. Think about it, everyone, are there really such geniuses who don't need resources to practice? Yi Chen broke through to the 4th level general, but he has a close relationship with the school beauty of Han. Tisk tisk tisk. Zhao Hengyan clicked a few more words, and everyone realized it instantly. Sure enough, I wonder where the genius of cultivation comes from. It's so shameless. You take advantage of others and don't admit it. Hey, let's put it this way, isn't Yi Chen the pretty boy raised by the beauty of the Korean school? That makes sense. Facing the overwhelming abuse again, Han Ruoxuan and Yi Chen were angry and frightened. After all, what Zhao Hengyan said is true, but the current relationship between the two of them can only be regarded as ordinary friends. Being called a pretty boy forcibly, Yi Chen's whole body trembled with anger. Only he knows that although he has used resources, he still relies on his own abilities. Faced with the inexplicable slander, Yi Chen couldn't help it. His eyes seemed to be spitting out fire, and he glared at Zhao Hengyan fiercely. Zhao Hengyan, do you dare to fight with me? Am I sick? Why should I fight you? Zhao Hengyan knew that he could not defeat Yi Chen at the moment, so he immediately put it off. Ruoxuan, do you believe me? Yi Chen looked at this ice beauty lovingly. Han Ruoxuan glanced at Zhao Hengyan. At this moment, she felt that Yi Chen's image was even more outstanding. Trust me, I'll handle this for you, Yi Chen said confidently. Good. For some reason, Han Ruoxuan felt that she had enough trust in Yi Chen, so she agreed immediately without much thought. Hey, don't be so annoying and give me a nice word. Zhao Hengyan had already guessed that Yi Chen was planning a wave of heroes to save the beauty. Zhao Hengyan, do you dare to fight with me? In half a month, there will be a college competition. You have a fight with me. If you lose, you are not allowed to pester Ruoxuan again. If you win, I will repay you 10 times the resources I owe you. Facing Zhao Hengyan, who was a 6-star warrior, Yi Chen had sufficient confidence. Recalling the content of the original work, although it was also in the college competition half a month later, Zhao Hengyan was defeated by Yi Chen with one move. Later, Han Ruoxuan fell in love with Yi Chen directly in public. The subsequent plot is familiar to all readers. Zhao Hengyan carried out crazy revenge and suppression against Yi Chen. Yi Chen saw the tricks and climbed up step by step, and finally wiped out the Zhao family. Today's Zhao Hengyan is no longer the licking Zhao Hengyan back then, so he will naturally not allow the plot to develop like this. Coupled with the support of the system and family resources, he is full of confidence in the competition in half a month. Okay, I promise you. But looking at how poor you are, what if you lose and can't afford to pay? Zhao Hengyan agreed immediately and rushed towards the crowd like a wave. Holy crap, is it true or not, young Master Zhao is actually next. A war spirit, a war general, how about beating him? Is it possible that Mr. Zhao wants to use this time to sprint? What are you thinking? You think this is just drinking water? You will be promoted to the 4th level warrior in half a month. You don't understand. Big families often have secret techniques that can improve their realm level in a short period of time. 2. In addition to the people eating melons around, Han Ruoxuan and Yi Chen were also slightly startled after hearing this. Did he agree? So refreshing. They looked at the familiar yet unfamiliar man in front of them with some suspicion. I always feel like something is wrong, but don't worry about it, just agree to it. Yi Chen is very confident in his own strength. Not to mention crushing him downwards, he can also fight across small realms. After all, he is the protagonist, so he is very brave. Don't worry, I will definitely pay it back. If you don't believe it, I can make an oath. But you have to promise to keep your word, and from today on, you are not allowed to pester Ruoxuan anymore. Yi Chen had a confident smile on his face, his eyes were full of disdain, and he looked at Zhao Hengyan coldly. Good, the protagonist actually dares to take an oath. Zhao Hengyan was already happy. After all, he was still thinking about how to deal with it in the future. Unexpectedly, he dared to make an oath. Once he made it, it would be equivalent to handing over his handle to the other party. Yi Chen, how can you swear an oath? Han Ruoxuan asked with a concerned look. She tried to dissuade him. After all, she had a crush on Yi Chen and he was standing up for her. It doesn't matter, I'm still a little confident about a war spirit. Yi Chen grinned at Han Ruoxuan, showing a confident look. At this moment, in Han Ruoxuan's eyes, Yi Chen is a sunny and cheerful boy, while Zhao Hengyan is a mean, stingy and bullying villain. After Yi Chen made the oath, Zhao Hengyan turned around and left. Before leaving, He added one more sentence. If I lose the competition in half a month, I won't get back the resources I gave to Han Ruoxuan. However, from now on, I will terminate my engagement with Han Ruoxuan and have nothing to do with her or the Han family. For the second half of the words, Zhao Hengyan specially emphasized the tone a bit, as if he was afraid that others could not hear clearly. What a joke. I can't cure you for the time being, but I can't cure your family members either. The Han family was originally a second-rate family in the imperial capital and was about to fall into the third-rate, if it were not for the support of the Zhao family. In the past year or two, it has barely reached the bottom of the first-class level. Moreover, the Han family has done a lot of things using the name of the Zhao family, so let's get them all back now. In the original book, on Yi Chen's Road to Wealth, in addition to himself being a licking dog, the Han family was also one. Yi Chen's genius performance made the Han family devote key resources to please him. It seemed to be the design of his lackey Yi Chen. Moreover, most of the resources of the Han family rely on the Zhao family, but the Han family always treats themselves as the financial backers with a cold shoulder, but they are constantly licking the protagonist. You don't want this kind of unfamiliar dog. After hearing what Zhao Hengyan said, Han Ruoxuan and Han Ruoxuan didn't hear anything, but they were just happy. It was as if he had finally gotten rid of the dirty guy Zhao Hengyan, but he didn't know that good luck was still to come. What? Did I hear it correctly? Young Master Zhao just left like this? Master Zhao, don't you take revenge? Wait a minute, does Mr. Zhao mean that he will have nothing to do with the Han family in the future? Nonsense, even if the engagement is broken off, what's the matter? Some people in the crowd had already smelled a strange smell. After all, this is the Zhao family, and he is young Master Zhao. Will the Zhao family, which is more terrifying than a first-class family, let it go? Impossible, absolutely impossible. After all, there is the calm before the storm. After getting rid of Yi Chen and the other two, Zhao Hengyan immediately rushed home and prepared to fuse with the heart of the Holy Spirit. This is a good thing that can upgrade the quality of your fighting spirit. I have only heard of it in legends. Zhao Hengyan's fighting spirit is the white tiger. That's right, it's just a white tiger. It only has a trace of the blood of the holy beast white tiger, but in essence it is just an ordinary tiger. When it reaches a certain age, perhaps this white tiger will mutate and its quality will be upgraded. But there won't be a qualitative change that can lead to the evolution from B to A, but there is a high probability that B will become B+. The dignified young master of the Zhao family and the future heir of the Zhao family is actually a B-level fighting spirit. If word spreads, people will laugh to death. In this regard, the family has been looking for two things for themselves. One is the heart of the Holy Spirit, and the other is the blood essence of the holy beast white tiger or other holy beasts. Only in this way can you bring upgrades or mutations to your fighting spirit and strengthen it. But these two things were so easy to find. The Zhao family mobilized the entire family to search for them for more than 10 years, but there was no news. Not long after, the car stopped steadily at the gate of a manor. After arriving at the destination, Zhao Hengyan slowly got out of the car and looked at a plaque above the door with two words written on it, Zhao Mansion. If he hadn't held back, he would have knelt down when he got out of the car. He knew he was rich, extremely rich. But in my previous life, I was an ordinary college student working part-time as a food delivery person. I had never seen the world before, and I never dared to imagine it. The sight in front of him shocked Zhao Hengyan to the core. How's inhumanity? I don't know how many football fields there are, and that doesn't include basements and other facilities. Each building is particularly spectacular, with dragons and phoenixes carved in every corner, depicting various gorgeous patterns. As soon as he came in, Zhao Hengyan felt a strong spiritual energy rushing towards his face, which was much higher in quality and concentration than the spiritual energy outside. That's right, there is a spiritual lake and a chi gathering formation in the mansion. It can provide a steady stream of more intense spiritual energy for the people to practice. Memory. As the young master of the Zhao family, he has a private training ground. A few levels better than this level. Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but complain a few more words about his predecessor. With resources of this level, why don't you take off? It's just a pig letting your family. Oh no, our family can become a magic pig. You still lick it. You know how to lick it every day. Do you know how deep the water is in here? You can't control this world, let me do it. Zhao Hengyan quickly walked into the house while admiring the beautiful scenery at home. The servants in the mansion were a little shocked when they saw this scene. What happened? Why does the young master feel like he has never been home? But they are just servants, so they don't dare to talk. As soon as he entered the door, Zhao Hengyan immediately came to his secret room, a special training place, to prepare for fusion. Suddenly he thought of something and used his spiritual power to speak to the room. Uncle, help me protect the law. There may be some strange phenomena later. Fusion of the heart of the Holy Spirit will cause visions to some extent. Although he is in the Zhao mansion, he still has to tell his elders in the family to protect him just in case. Uncle Zhao Long is the eldest elder of the Zhao family and a half-step emperor. He is currently the strongest guardian of the left-behind family. Since his grandfather Zhao Zhenshan is a strong saint, he is usually in the Blue Star Alliance. Unless a strong saint encounters something unexpected at home, he will stay in the alliance, pay attention to the international situation, and resist the global invasion of alien beasts. Because his father, Zhao Zan, was one of the 10 most powerful emperors in China and the commander-in-chief of China's first war zone, he was always at the border to expand the Zhao family's territory and was not at home. As for her mother, Su Qingyu, the company she manages is extremely large and even has some underground forces, so she has time to go home and take a look. At present, there are only a few strong men from the older generation and several elders left in the family. And Zhao Long is the one with the highest status and the strongest strength among these people. After hearing Zhao Hengyan's voice, Zhao Long couldn't help but frown slightly. I thought, what happened to this kid today? Why do you suddenly want to practice cultivation? And did he call himself uncle today? Don't blame Zhao Long for thinking so. In other words, other Zhao family members would think so if they knew about it. Because Zhao Hengyan had never taken cultivation seriously before and followed Han Ruoxuan every day. Most of the training resources given by the family were given to Han Ruoxuan. Therefore, Zhao Zan once issued an order that except for Zhao Hengyan's own resources, which must be used within the family, the rest cannot exceed the 5th level quality. For most people, 5th level quality magical artifacts, treasures and elixirs are rare and extremely precious. In the Zhao family, these things can be seen everywhere, which shows how powerful the Zhao family is. In the secret room, Zhao Hengyan took out the heart of the Holy Spirit. This is a small ball with a round center that exudes white holy light. The surface of the small ball is covered with dense lines. When the heart of the Holy Spirit was taken out, all the surrounding spiritual energy was absorbed. What a terrifying suction power, it is worthy of being a holy treasure. Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but exclaimed, this is something that the whole family has been looking for more than 10 years and has never seen before. The next second, with the help of the system, Zhao Hengyan used his spiritual power to try to communicate with the heart of the Holy Spirit. Soon the heart of the Holy Spirit followed Zhao Hengyan's spiritual energy and turned into a ray of light and flashed into his body. Kakaka. When the Holy Spirit's heart entered the body, Zhao Hengyan's whole body made clicking sounds soon after. It seemed as if the whole person was about to shatter. The spiritual energy around him continued to flow towards him, but due to his low level, he was unable to contain a large amount of it. Therefore, Zhao Hengyan's body could not be suppressed and seemed to be broken. Traces of blood continued to overflow from his body, quickly turning him into a bloody man. System, I'm not going to die. Feeling that his consciousness was gradually blurring, Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but exclaimed and asked. Host, don't worry, the products produced by the system must be high quality. We villains are invincible. Listen to me, this pain in the wind and rain is nothing. Forget it, the system has said so, so there shouldn't be any big problems. So Zhao Hengyan supported his body and activated the Zhao family's secret skill, Shanhai Ju. It is indeed an emperor-level skill. Although Zhao Hengyan has only practiced it to the 2nd level, most of the severe pain was instantly relieved. The previous absorption capacity of spiritual energy has also been expanded by more than half. Shanhai Ju is named after Shanhai Ju because after practicing this technique, the physical strength of the whole body is greatly enhanced, and the skill is also greatly enhanced. Legend has it that as long as one can practice to the extreme and the body is as hard as a mountain, the spiritual pool will evolve into a spiritual sea as huge as the ocean. Every move can have the potential to overwhelm mountains and destroy heaven and earth. It's a pity that my predecessor was just for fun and didn't practice much. Now I can only practice to the second level. As the heart of the Holy Spirit absorbed, Zhao Hengyan found that the white tiger in his spiritual pool became very restless. Roar! The white tiger let out a thunderous roar and ran wildly inside Zhao Hengyan's body. Rumble! The next second, bursts of thunder rang out in the spiritual pool inside Zhao Hengyan's body and in the sky of Zhao Mansion. Then, streaks of lightning fell. Suddenly there was a scene of lightning and thunder, and majestic spiritual energy surged towards Zhao Mansion from all directions. Suddenly the entire imperial capital became lively. Everyone's eyes turned to the direction of the Zhao family. Could this kind of vision mean that old guy Zhaolong is going to become emperor? Impossible, this aura is not comparable to that of Emperor Tribulation. I seem to feel the breath of the saint. Saint, impossible. There are only a few saints in the whole country of China. If another one appears in the Zhao family, it will be unreasonable. How could someone not be a saint have such a powerful aura and shocking vision? At this moment, everyone in Zhao Mansion also looked at the thunder in the sky one by one. As the Great Elder about to break through. It's possible, except for the Great Elder who is half-stepped to becoming an emperor, he is just one step away from becoming an emperor. I also think it should be the Great Elder. It's not the Great Elder. I saw it with my own eyes when the head of the family became emperor. This aura should be caused by a strong person in the Holy Realm. Then who can cause such a strange phenomenon in the world? It's Zhao Hengyan. Great Elder Zhaolong walked into the crowd and said solemnly. Zhao Hengyan had come back with a series of strange reactions just now, and he estimated that only this kid could do it. In fact, Zhaolong, as his uncle, has always been very optimistic about Zhao Hengyan. He knew that Zhao Hengyan's talent was not high, but it was only limited by the fact that once the white tiger became a saint or mutated, the fighting spirit would have to be at least SS level or above. There shouldn't be much of a problem with the last great emperor. The family's search for the essence and blood of the holy beast was fruitless before, so Zhao Hengyan was unable to make a breakthrough. Today caused this strange phenomenon in the world. He estimated that Zhao Hengyan's fighting spirit should have broken through. But when he saw such a powerful thunder dragon attacking, he was afraid that Zhao Hengyan wouldn't be able to bear it. So he went to the secret room where Zhao Hengyan was and protected him. In a skyscraper in the imperial capital, a girl with a cool temperament and a graceful figure was sitting in an office. Suddenly, she saw a strange phenomenon in the sky, and when she took a closer look, she was surprised and delighted. It's the direction of the Zhao family. Is the Great Elder going to become the emperor? But this aura is wrong. Thinking about it, she suddenly knew something, and a charming smile appeared on her originally cold face. Immediately, she took out her mobile phone and opened the address book, found the familiar note and clicked on it. Inside Zhao's secret room, thunder struck one after another, and Zhao Hengyan's originally damaged body now had even bigger cracks. It seemed as if the whole person would shatter into pieces in the next second. The white tiger in his body also changed from restless and irritable to weak and weak under the attack of the thunder dragon. Every time the thunder dragon attacks, the white tiger's figure gradually dissipates. Just when Zhao Hengyan felt that he was reaching his limit, suddenly there was a powerful force in his body, which relieved some of his pain and took on a lot of damage. Boy Yan, pay attention and don't get distracted. Zhaolong sent him a message and helped him. With the help of Emperor Banbu, the damage of the thunder that originally destroyed the world was reduced by half. As the last few thunders fell, the white tiger in the body was chopped into pieces and scattered in every corner of the body. The next second, the Holy Spirit's heart burst out with powerful power, injecting it into every corner of Zhao Hengyan's body. The originally damaged body was repaired, and the shattered spirit pool was not only restored to its original state, but was also several times larger than before. Different from the pain last time, this time the heart of the Holy Spirit gave him very comfortable and gentle strength. Roar! The next second, another tiger roar appeared in the spirit pool. The calm spirit pool rioted again, but there was no pain like before. Under the guidance of the Holy Spirit's heart, the scattered white tiger bodies gathered together and emitted a dazzling light. Among them are also the power of the thunder just now, and the power of the holy level possessed by the heart of the Holy Spirit. As the light dissipated, a more majestic and huge white tiger appeared in the spiritual pool. What was different from before was that this white tiger was majestic, exuding the aura of the Holy Spirit, and was wrapped with thunder and lightning. This is no longer a king, but a holy beast white tiger. At this moment, it not only possesses the breath of the Holy Spirit, but also carries a strong fighting spirit. Like a god of war, any evil spirit will be dispelled in front of it. Zhao Hengyan took a deep breath, recovered his body, and then slowly opened his eyes. The eyes that were originally as deep as the starry sky now have a layer of pale gold above them. Zhao Hengyan felt that he had become stronger. There was an unprecedented energy in his body, and he felt like he had inexhaustible energy. Zhao Hengyan was deeply influenced by the white tiger at this moment. Like a god of war, his body was full of fighting intent, and his eyes were full of killing intent. The whole person makes people shudder to see him. Ding! Congratulations to the host spirit for successfully upgrading, changing the original plot and obtaining the weapon White Tiger Blade. After hearing the system prompt tone, Zhao Hengyan smiled crookedly. Main character. Sorry, I am the protagonist. The system panel opens. Name: Zhao Hengyan. Villain value: 200. Luck: 50. Realm: War Spirit 6 stars. Fighting Spirit: Holy Beast White Tiger. Level: SSS. Mind: None. Combat Skill: Meteoric Fist Quasi-Emperor level. Body Skills: None. Kung Fu: Shan Haiju Emperor level Holy Demon Technique. Item: White Tiger Warblade Emperor level best. Hiss. After reading it, Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but take a breath of air. Are holy beasts so powerful? He actually upgraded his B-level fighting spirit to SSS at once. What does SSS level exist? That is a guaranteed semi-saint, an existence that can become a saint with hard work. In the original book, Chen starts out as an SS and is invincible in the world. Later, when he encounters an opportunity, he upgrades his SS fighting spirit to SSS to become the unbeatable one in the world. I got it right in one step and started the SSS battle spirit. Moreover, the system also gave a weapon, the best of the Emperor. This thing is always scarce. No matter how big the Zhao family is, they only have 2 Emperor-level weapons. An Emperor-level low-grade 1 guarded the Zhao family, and the other Emperor-level mid-grade 1 was on the old man's body. The currently known middle-grade Emperors and above are basically recorded in books. I just don't know if I can move this weapon by myself. No matter how powerful the fighting spirit is, Zhao Hengyan is still in the fighting spirit realm. Generally, the gap between the level of a weapon and its user will not be greater than the 3 major realms. Otherwise, there will be backlash, let alone exerting strength. Zhao Hengyan immediately summoned the White Tiger Blade to take a look. He saw a war blade over 1 meter long appearing in front of him. It might be related to his fighting spirit. Zhao Hengyan didn't feel any discomfort when he touched it, and he could also feel a strong affinity emanating from the war blade. Zhao Hengyan held the war blade and suddenly felt strength rising throughout his body. A powerful righteous energy appears in the body, as if it wants to eliminate all evil spirits. Zhao Hengyan suddenly thought of a sentence in his mind: any evil will eventually be brought to justice. Hey, that's not right, I'm a villain. Although he wants to be the protagonist, the script he is currently working on is a villain. After putting away the war blade, Zhao Hengyan opened the system space again and used the holy magic method. This book does not have any grades, but according to the setting in general novels, those who do not have grades are usually the top ones. In the original work, Chen has a weapon Kung Fu. With the growth of strength and the needs of the plot, this weapon technique can eventually grow into a star-level technique. Zhao Hengyan opened the introduction and introduced Holy Demon Dafa. Practitioners can practice both good and evil, and demonic energy and spiritual energy can be converted into each other. When all cultivation reaches the extreme, the saint's state shines brightly like the sun, illuminating the world. In the demonic state, the demonic energy soars into the sky and can cover the sky and the sun like a demon god coming to the world. Hiss. After reading it, Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but take another deep breath. It feels so awesome. After all, in this world, you can only cultivate one thing: spiritual energy or demonic energy. And this path of cultivation is not decided by oneself but is innate. Some people are born with demonic bodies and can practice demonic cultivation, and some people are born with spiritual bodies and can cultivate spiritually. The two have each other's advantages. It is common for demon cultivators to have stronger combat capabilities than those at the same level, and can even fight across a large realm. However, the demonic cultivator has a special constitution and his lifespan is much shorter than that of the spiritual cultivator. It is even easy to go crazy and die suddenly. Although spiritual cultivators are not as powerful in combat, their lifespan is much longer than that of demonic cultivators. Moreover, spiritual practitioners can practice healing techniques. This is something that a demon cultivator can never have. Even in the original work, Chen can only practice one technique. But he can cultivate both spirits and demons, opening up a realm that has never been achieved before or since. Ding! It has been detected that the host is learning a new technique. Is it starting to be understood? This system also comes with autonomous learning. Not bad, good conscience system. Yes, Zhao Hengyan replied decisively. After all, a second of hesitation is a lack of confidence in the system. The host has successfully comprehended the first level, and the state is at its ultimate level. After that, you need to spend corresponding villain points for each level you want to comprehend. The levels of understanding the skills are from small to large: first glimpse, entry, mastery, small success, great perfection, and ultimate. The higher the understanding, the better the effect of the technique. Closing parenthesis. After realizing this, Zhao Hengyan looked at his hands. One side is surrounded by spiritual energy, and the other side is filled with demonic energy. Is this a plug-in? Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but complain about himself. It's different when you have a hang-up. You learned the first level directly in one go and understood it to the extreme. And he possesses spiritual energy and demonic energy at the same time. This is probably the first person since the era of spiritual energy recovery. Although you have to pay next, oh no, pay some villain points. But the protagonist is here, so what are you afraid of? The more wool you gather, the more success you will achieve in your career. Immediately, he looked at the two skills and stunts of Shan Haiju and Meteor Star Fist that his predecessor had practiced. Both of them have only cultivated to the second level, and they are only at the mastery level. In this case, I would just use my current talent and system to practice again. With the help of the system, the first level of the two sets of exercises directly achieves extreme speed. Zhao Hengyan took a look and found that starting from the second level of the Holy Demon Dafa, 1000 villain points must be added each time, for a total of 11 levels. The second level of Shanhaiju only costs 800 to start with, and the formation is also increased. A total of 9 levels need to be practiced. The Meteor Star technique only costs 500 each time, which is also the 9th level. Forget it, let's do this for now. Immediately, Zhao Hengyan walked out of the secret room and prepared to take a rest. As soon as he went out, he saw Zhao Long waiting at the door. Zhao Long looked at the young man in front of him with a smile on his face and nodded with satisfaction. Then, he discovered that Zhao Hengyan's eyes had an extra layer of gold, and his whole temperament had changed. Thank you, uncle, for protecting the road. If it weren't for Zhao Long's help just now, he still doesn't know whether he would have succeeded. Moreover, in the original work, Zhao Long also loved himself very much. After being beaten to death by Chen, he was the first to beat Chen to death. Unfortunately, because the protagonist is the son of luck, he is defeated. After he recovers, Chen comes to attack and kill Zhao Long at the door of Zhao's house. It can be said that every family member in the book was very kind to him, but in the end they all died at the hands of Chen. Therefore, Zhao Hengyan not only has a good impression of his uncle Zhao Long in the book, but also feels grateful for his help just now. It doesn't matter, you succeeded. Although Zhao Long knew it, he couldn't help but ask. Yes, okay, my Zhao family has a successor. Zhao Long is particularly happy about the rise of newcomers from the younger generation. While Zhao Hengyan was talking to Zhao Long, a graceful figure appeared in front of Zhao Hengyan. Xiao Yan, did you make the noise just now? Before Zhao Hengyan could speak, the girl asked first. Yes, Zhao Hengyan replied with a smile. According to the memory of his previous life, Zhao Hengyan recognized that the cold but beautiful woman in front of him was his sister Su Mengli. According to the description of the original work, Su Mengli is one of the important female protagonists in the book. She is not only outstanding in appearance, but also a rare genius in martial arts. She can be called the first person under the protagonist Yi Chen. After Zhao Hengyun's death, Su Mengli once beat Yi Chen so hard that he dared not show up in order to avenge herself. If Yi Chen had not led the protagonist group to beat Su Mengli to death with more people, Su Mengli would have crushed the protagonist according to her strength at that time. The original work also describes that Su Mengli is not actually her biological sister. She is an orphan who happened to meet her mother Su Qingyu, so she was adopted as an adopted daughter and took her mother's surname. Su Qingyu fell in love with Su Mengli's special fighting spirit and extraordinary martial arts talent at first sight. In addition to adopting her as an adopted daughter, she also had another purpose. That is to train Su Mengli to be her guardian and wife. Su Qingyu had imagined that if Zhao Hengyun did not meet a suitable woman as a partner, then Su Mengli would be the best alternative. Unfortunately, the previous incarnation had always licked Han Ruoxuan and ignored other women. There were also many families who had prepared marriage partners for him, but they were all pushed to the protagonist by him. If Su Mengli had not grown up with her, she would probably have become one of the protagonist's harem. Feeling that Zhao Hengyun had a temperament that looked down on the world, Su Mengli could not help but ask, "Xiaoyan, has your fighting spirit awakened?" "Yes, Sister Mengli." In fact, Zhao Hengyun originally wanted to call her sister, but suddenly remembered that his previous incarnation had always called her Sister Mengli. After all, this was what Su Qingyu asked him to call her since he was a child, and he could only call her that. "What grade of fighting spirit do you have now?" Hearing this, Zhao Long also looked at Zhao Hengyun with curiosity. He was going to ask Zhao Hengyun, but Su Mengli came back and asked first. Zhao Hengyun did not answer immediately after hearing this, but looked around. Finally, he used his spiritual power to transmit the message, "My fighting spirit is currently SSS level." Hearing this news, both of them stared at him in amazement. SSS level, what a concept! Zhao Zan and Zhao Zhenshan, both outstanding geniuses of that era, were only SS+. And he took it to the next level here, reaching an unprecedented new height, SSS. "You are worthy of being a son of a general." Zhao Long looked at him with a smile on his face and couldn't help but admire. "I said, your father and your mother are geniuses once in a century, how could your fighting spirit be bad?" Hearing this, Zhao Hengyun suddenly remembered that he should inform his parents. After all, the two of them have also put in a lot of effort for him. "By the way, I have to tell my parents." "No need, I've already told them." Su Mengli replied with a smile. "You made so much noise just now, I guessed it. So, I told them on the spot, I guess my mother will be back soon." As expected of the heroine, she is not only beautiful but also smart. Zhao Hengyun silently admired. "By the way, Sister Mengli, I need you to help me with something." "What is it?" Su Mengli looked at Zhao Hengyun with a puzzled look. "I want to break off the engagement with Han Ruoxuan." "What?" Zhao Long and Han Ruoxuan's hearts trembled instantly after hearing this. Both of them felt surprised and happy. After all, they had been unhappy with Han Ruoxuan for a long time, and they had been hanging Zhao Hengyun without even looking at him. The Han family and Han Ruoxuan both regarded him as a sucker, but Zhao Hengyun had been licking him before, and he had even quarreled with his family for this. So although everyone was dissatisfied, they still suppressed it for Zhao Hengyun's face. Now they heard that Zhao Hengyun was going to break off the engagement. This was of course a good thing, but they always felt it was strange. After all, he had been so enthusiastic in the past few years, even yesterday, so why did he become a different person today? But they didn't think much about it. After all, it was a good thing for them that Zhao Hengyun could change. In addition, Zhao Hengyun's fighting spirit had been upgraded, and he would definitely be a rare genius in the future. Zhao Hengyun saw the two of them staring at him blankly, and he knew it in his heart. This incident probably had a big impact on them. After all, the predecessor had done more than one or two ridiculous things. In order to be with Han Ruoxuan, not only did she use resources to lick her, but someone also scolded her, so Zhao Hengyun dared to fall out with that person. He didn't even want the bodyguards and assistants his parents assigned him, for fear of affecting his ability to lick Han Ruoxuan. In the end, in order to protect the sole heir, the family had no choice but to send a quasi-emperor elder to protect him. Zhao Hengyan coughed twice and pulled the two of them back. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to break off the engagement with her. But I have already broken off the engagement with her. All I need to do now is destroy the marriage certificate. After listening, the two of them felt like a roller coaster. He was happy, surprised and happy again, fearing that Zhao Hengyan would suddenly regret it. You sure? Su Mengli asked tentatively. I'm sure, from today on, I have nothing to do with Han Ruoxuan and the Han family. And after the engagement is broken off, all the things that the Han family took from our Zhao family will be returned, and some interest will be charged on the way. As he spoke, Zhao Hengyan's eyes gradually became cold and stern. Coupled with golden pupils, Zhao Hengyan's image became taller and more powerful. At this moment, he seemed to be worthy of being the young master and heir of the Zhao family. Looking at Zhao Hengyan with such determined eyes, Su Mengli immediately felt happy. Okay, sister will arrange it for you. Immediately, she took out her mobile phone and simply texted a few words on it. Ding. Due to changing the plot direction of the original work, the Han family is about to be severely hit. The host receives 2,500 villain points and a bottle of divine beast essence and blood. Okay, is this a big family? Just a few clicks on Su Mengli's phone, and the fate of the Han family was decided in the next second. He directly took 2,500 villain points and a bottle of divine beast essence and blood. The essence and blood of mythical beasts are very precious, even the Zhao family doesn't have much. For some low-quality fighting souls, the essence and blood of mythical beasts can upgrade or mutate the fighting souls. If you are a top-level fighting spirit like yourself, you can use it to train your body and raise your body's strength to a new standard. By the way, Sister Mengli, tell Mom to give me a guardian. Good. Su Mengli immediately agreed to Zhao Hengyan's request, fearing that he would regret it. After all, he had been equipped before, but he was driven away in order to lick Han Ruoxuan. Now that the war spirit level has been upgraded, it must be protected. After all, in addition to the Zhao family, there are several super families. They can't see anything good about each other. Therefore, under the protection of the powerful quasi-emperor, it is best to have another guardian. If possible, Su Mengli would like to do it in person. Now that nothing's wrong and you know that I'm safe, I'll continue to practice and consolidate. Zhao Hengyan thought of the villain value of more than 2,000, and prepared to improve his skills on the spot. Go ahead. Zhao Long nodded and then handed him a space ring. If you want to practice, you need to use better resources. You gave all your things to that girl before, so the ones the family gave you were not particularly good. Now that you can change your mind, then make good use of the Zhao family's resources. Use these things first. When your father lifts your ban, you will have the resources to practice. Zhao Hengyan was very moved when he heard about it, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. It's great to be a villain, with a harmonious family, a strong background, a superior life, and super talent. Thank you, uncle. After saying that, Zhao Hengyan turned around and returned to the secret room. This kid has finally changed. Yes, Xiaoyan finally looks back. My parents must be very happy at this moment. In the secret room, Zhao Hengyan estimated how to spend the villain's value. After thinking about it, he immediately decided to practice the mountain and river art and the second level of the holy demon Dharma together to the extreme. Ding! As the system beeps, the second level of both exercises reaches the ultimate state. Zhao Hengyan tried to use his spiritual power. I found that my entire body had undergone tremendous changes. The spiritual pool in the body has expanded a lot, and the physical strength has also increased several times. This is simply not comparable to the Shan Haiju, which was previously proficient in realms. As for the holy demon technique, Zhao Hengyan felt that he was absorbing spiritual energy quickly at this moment. Immediately, he started 2 exercises and used the bottle of divine beast essence and blood to temper his body. Yi Chen, thank you for rescuing me just now. Han Ruoxuan looked lovingly at the sunny and cheerful boy in front of her. I don't know why, but I suddenly feel attached to him. Although I have only known him for a few months, I feel closer than meeting Zhao Hengyan. In addition, Zhao Hengyan dared to break off the engagement in person today, without giving himself any face, and even took back the materials given to him. Han Ruoxuan hated it even more. It's okay, Ruoxuan. Yi Chen smiled slightly and said, after all, you and uncle have helped me so much, I just took a little action. Although I don't know how he could have guessed that the resources would be used by me. But it doesn't matter. As long as he dares to challenge, he will be disabled even if he doesn't die. As he spoke, Yi Chen's eyes gradually became ferocious. Let's go, I'll treat you to a meal. Hearing that Yi Chen stood up for her, Han Ruoxuan suddenly felt warm in her heart and immediately asked to have a meal with him. Okay, Yi Chen, am truly lucky to be matched with such a beautiful young lady as Ruoxuan. Hearing that Han Ruoxuan wanted to treat him to a meal, Yi Chen was overjoyed. Thanks to Zhao Hengyan, my progress has been accelerated a lot. If it weren't for today's scene, he would have asked Han Ruoxuan to break off the engagement earlier. After all, he already regards Han Ruoxuan as his own, and no one can touch her except himself. According to the description in the original work, it was because Zhao Hengyan touched Han Ruoxuan. Yi Chen was furious and cursed. You already have a way to die. After dinner, Yi Chen sent Han Ruoxuan home. Just as Han Ruoxuan's pretty face turned slightly red, she thought about being able to be with Yi Chen openly and get rid of the annoying Queen Zhao Hengyan. My heart couldn't help but feel a little sweeter, and the smile on my face became even brighter. Then she opened the door to her home with a smile. Mom and Dad, let me tell you something. Han Ruoxuan opened the door, smiling as she prepared to share this happy event with her parents. Suddenly, I found that the atmosphere at home was extremely strange. The members of the Han family who had spoken were all gathered in their hall at this moment. Everyone had serious expressions and looked at their father, Han Qian, with blank eyes. Han Jian was answering the phone at this moment, his face gradually turning livid. His expressions also became very complex, including fear, anger, shock and anger, very much like a chameleon. To be precise, it is a combination of chameleon and Sichuan opera face changing. It changes quickly and multiple times, which is very magical. Do. As the phone was hung up, Han Yan collapsed on the sofa. At this moment, Han Yan looked at Han Ruoxuan with cold eyes and a pale face. As soon as he saw the smile on Han Ruoxuan's face, his heart ignited a little more fire. How happy and bright Han Ruoxuan was, how angry Han Jian was, and how miserable the Han family was. Came back, Han Jian looked at Han Ruoxuan coldly, and glanced at Yi Chen beside him. Uncle, hello aunt. Yi Chen politely greeted Han Ruoxuan's parents. Dad, Mom, let me tell you, Zhao Hengyan agreed that I would break off the engagement with him. From today. Boom. Before he finished speaking, Han Yan slammed the table hard and smashed it into pieces. The aura of the god of war's 10 stars erupted from his body, instantly making everyone present feel breathless. Han Ruoxuan and Yi Chen were forced to kneel on the spot by this coercion, unable to raise their heads. Faced with Han Jian's sudden burst of anger, Han Ruoxuan's smiling face instantly turned ashen. At this moment, her face was pale and she was gasping for air. My originally cheerful heart suddenly trembled, and I was sweating all over my body. What's wrong? Why is father so angry? What did you do wrong? Han Ruoxuan didn't realize the seriousness of the matter at the moment and had no idea what the problem was. What did you say? Han Jian suppressed his anger and asked in a low voice. Say it again. I just said that Zhao Hengyan accepted my divorce. Han Ruoxuan trembled all over and answered tremblingly. But before he finished speaking, a more powerful aura erupted from Han Lian's body again. Puff. Han Ruoxuan, a third-level war spirit, could not bear the powerful pressure. He immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. She looked at her father in disbelief. Didn't she just break off the engagement? Why was she so angry? And doesn't he himself dislike Zhao Hengyan? What happened today? Han Jian snorted coldly and said, It's not you who annulled my marriage. It's the other person who annulled our marriage. Now, the Zhao family has announced that it has nothing to do with us. What's going on? Isn't it great? Han Ruoxuan asked innocently, not noticing the seriousness of the matter. Hearing this, Han Jian's anger increased even more. Then he slapped Han Ruoxuan with a slap, leaving a bright red handprint on Han Ruoxuan's fair and pretty face. His whole body was sent flying by this slap, and he hit the wall behind him directly. Puff. Another mouthful of blood spat out. At this moment, Han Ruoxuan finally realized that something was wrong, otherwise her father would not be so angry. Isn't it still good? You know nothing. The Zhao family announced that they were severing our relationship. Not only did the Zhao family withdraw their resources, but the Zhao family's vassal forces and families also severed our cooperation. Everyone who cooperates with us, no matter what the relationship is, whether they have anything to do with the Zhao family or not, has disowned us. All cooperation has been terminated, and the Han family is finished. The Han family is finished, you know. When he said this, Han Jian couldn't help but jump up and roared loudly. In fact, before he finished speaking, those who had a grudge against the Han family would soon come to seek revenge. Even those who don't have hatred become those who have hatred. Uncle, this matter has nothing to do with Ruoxuan. You shut up. Hearing that Yi Chen wanted to defend Han Ruoxuan, Han Jian was so angry that he slapped him in the face. Unlike Han Ruoxuan, this slap was harder. If it hit Han Ruoxuan, he would probably die directly here. But Yi Chen is the protagonist. Not only is he a 4th-grade warrior, but he also possesses 2 top-notch techniques. The damage caused by Han Jian's slap was greatly reduced, and the situation was much better than that of Han Ruoxuan. Although it was still embarrassing, it was not that tragic. When Han Jian saw that Yi Chen could actually carry it, he couldn't help but show a look of surprise, and then he suppressed it again. If it weren't for you, how could Ruoxuan break off the relationship with Mr. Zhao? If it weren't for you, how could Ruoxuan break off the engagement with Mr. Zhao? If it weren't for you, how could our Han family be in this situation now? Han Jian vented all his anger towards Han Ruoxuan on Yi Chen. What makes him even more angry is that with the help of the Zhao family's resources, he is already a half-step quasi-emperor and will soon be able to step into the quasi-emperor. The Han family can also become a true first-rate or bottom-tier aristocratic family or a second-rate or top-tier aristocratic family. Now, because of Han Ruoxuan, this goal was shattered. Not only are there no resources provided, they even have to give back what they used before. Han Ruoxuan saw that all the eyes of the tribe were staring at her, with anger and resentment. Coupled with Han Jian's performance, Han Ruoxuan finally realized that she was in big trouble. If something really happened to the Han family, it would be a big deal. She didn't expect that a trivial matter like breaking off the engagement could lead to such serious consequences. Han Ruoxuan suddenly became panicked and her pretty face turned pale. My brain is also blank and I don't know what to do. She was originally planning to ask Yi Chen for help, but she took it back when she saw that Yi Chen was even more embarrassed than she was. Go admit your mistake to Mr. Zhao. Currently, the Han family's hopes are pinned on you. If you admit your mistake to the Zhao family, everything will be easier as long as you get the Zhao family's forgiveness. Master Zhao liked you so much before. As long as you can say nice things, things should get better. Han Jian said slowly with a commanding and pleading tone. Hearing this, Han Ruoxuan trembled and was stunned. Apologize to Zhao Hengyan, ask him for forgiveness. But I don't like him at all, and now I feel disgusted. It's hard for her to please. Thinking of Zhao Hengyan's words today, Han Ruoxuan suddenly felt a chill running down his spine. Yi Chen, who was standing aside, suddenly heard that the Han family actually wanted Han Ruoxuan to beg Zhao Hengyan, and he suddenly felt angry. Zhao Hengyan, who was currently practicing in the secret room of the Zhao family, kept hearing system notifications. Ding, I feel the protagonist's anger and increase the villain value by 100. Feeling the protagonist's great anger increases the villain value by 100. Feel the protagonist's anger and increase the villain value by 100. I feel that the heroine is very frightened and increase the villain value by 100. I feel that the heroine is very frightened and increase the villain value by 100. I feel that the heroine is very frightened and increase the villain value by 100. Feel the ever-increasing villain value. Zhao Hengyan raised the corners of his mouth and revealed an evil smile. Is this the protagonist? He's so fat. There can be hundreds of villains at any time. He's fatter than the New Year pig. Looking at the accumulated villain points of 1000, Zhao Hengyan immediately cultivated the 3rd level of Shanhai Ju to the extreme. Ding. As this crisp sound sounded, the 3rd level of Shanhai Ju was completed. Kakaka. At this moment, all the bones in his body made crisp sounds. A majestic force spread out around him with him as the center. Zhao Hengyan tried to use the Shanhai Ju, and then moved his body. He discovered that with the blessing of Shanhai Ju, in addition to the physical strength being enhanced under normal circumstances, it was also enhanced again under operational conditions. As expected of the Zhao family's ancestral skills. Emperor-level skills are like cattle. After only cultivating to the 3rd level, his whole person has undergone a radical change. Zhao Hengyan tried to wield the meteor star fist with the blessing of Shanhai Ju. Just a few simple swings, each carrying a small amount of spiritual energy, as if a simple punch could seriously injure someone. It would be even more amazing if the meteor fist was activated. Not only would the loss of spiritual energy be reduced, but the damage would also be enhanced. Although it was only a quasi-emperor level technique, for Zhao Hengyan, a fighting spirit, he was exhausted after just using it a few times. Now not only can it be used several times in a row, but the recovery speed is accelerated with the blessing of the holy magic. The summary is that the skill CD has been reduced, there are more blue bars, and the recovery speed is also faster. You still have to continue practicing. In half a month, that boy Yi Chen may reach the level of a combat master. Zhao Hengyan now estimates that he is invincible at the same level and can even fight with generals for a period of time. But there is still a huge gap compared with Yi Chen. In the original work, Yi Chen's fighting spirit and his initial skills are extremely strange, and can automatically absorb spiritual energy for practice. That is to say, he is still practicing while others are sleeping, 24 hours a day, so he can progress so quickly. Zhao Hengyan made up his mind and prepared to rush to upgrade the 6-star war spirit to the 10-star level or even become a warrior general. At the same time, Yi Chen on the other side was frantically sending villain points to Zhao Hengyan. When Yi Chen heard that Han Jian wanted his woman to beg Zhao Hengyan, feelings of unwillingness and anger welled up in my heart. He glanced at everyone in the Han family coldly, looking at them like frogs at the bottom of a well. What Zhao family, what Zhao Hengyan? Do you understand that this is all temporary? No matter how strong the Zhao family can be, I, Yi Chen, am the protagonist. Yi Chen was very confident. After all, he had many skills, and being a martial arts prodigy was just one of his external manifestations. He believed that with his level, he would soon rise up and take the Zhao family under his feet. Ruoxuan, don't go. Yi Chen tried to stop this behavior, but Han Jian slapped him right after he finished speaking. I'm sorry, do you have a say here? This time Han Lian's power was even more powerful than before, and Yi Chen was still slapped away no matter how hard he tried to reduce the damage. His body suddenly became chaotic, his spiritual energy went backwards, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. If it weren't for you, my Han family would be in this situation now. What the hell, I don't even want to settle a score with you, but you still stick to it. I'm sorry. Han Jian was so angry at Yi Chengxing that he immediately launched a wave of 3 consecutive attacks. Yi Chen knew that his current level was too low, even if he showed his true technical level and told the Han family that he had a solution. It is estimated that Han Jian was the same as now. Not only did he not believe him, he also beat him. Yi Chen. Han Ruoxuan's eyes were red, and she suddenly felt her heart being pinched when she saw Yi Chen's embarrassed look. Yi Chen felt Han Ruoxuan's hot gaze, and suddenly felt half-healed. My whole body feels warm, oh no, mainly my heart feels warm. Yi Chen gritted his teeth and thought to himself, no, Han Ruoxuan is my woman, and I must not let this guy Zhao Hengyan touch her. He has to protect his own woman, and it looks like he has some trump cards coming out. Uncle, listen to me. I'm sorry, I'm still listening to your nonsense. Han Jian slapped Yi Chen on the spot before he could finish speaking. Yi Chen's heart was filled with thousands of horses galloping. Han Ruoxuan knew that Yi Chen was doing this for herself, so she cried loudly to Han Jian. Dad, don't fight yet, let Yi Chen finish. I believe him, he must have a way. Yi Chen endured the pain in his body, gritted his teeth and said, Uncle, I have a way that may be able to save the Han family. I know that the most important industries of the Han family are not only the spirit stone mine but also the pharmaceutical industry. The mining Han family has their own mine, and they can still rely on this for a while. But the pharmaceutical industry is in danger now. Uncle, in addition to being a genius in cultivation, I am also proficient in alchemy and medical skills. I am willing to offer 2 important prescriptions to bring the Han family back to life. Yi Chen looked at Han Jian sincerely and said, fearing that he would be slapped away again before he finished speaking. You sure? Han Yan looked at the sunny and cheerful boy in front of him with interest. If it weren't for Han Ruoxuan's divorce, he would still be very optimistic about Yi Chen. After all, he gave himself the feeling that he had many secrets. Yes, uncle. Yi Chen looked at Han Jian confidently at this moment. After all, he knew that the medicines on the market were rubbish compared to his own. Even the body-tempering magic medicine currently rated as SSS level, Divine Body Pill. The valuation score is only around 60 to 70 points. As long as you take out the prescription, produce it, and take it for evaluation. Then there will be its own product on the SSS level drug list for the next quarter. Han Jian snorted coldly and stared coldly at the high-spirited young man in front of him. Then take out the prescription, otherwise how can I trust you? Uncle, I can take out the prescription, but can you not let Ruoxuan go to the Zhao family? Han Jian fell into deep thought after hearing this. Then he said in a deep voice, let's give you a chance. If it's really as good as you said. Han Yan gave Yi Chen a look midway through his words. Yi Chen immediately understood and wrote down the 2 recipes he knew, and then handed them to Han Jian. After reading it, Han Jian's pupils shrank sharply, and his eyes looked at Yi Chen with a little more respect. Immediately, he handed the prescription to the elder Han family behind him and asked. Everyone, how about you take a look and tell me? The white-haired elder did not look at Han Jian but said coldly, I said, the head of the family will deal with the problem himself, as long as he gives us an answer that can be explained. The second elder beside him also nodded and expressed the same attitude. This made Han Yan a little embarrassed, even though it was so easy to say. But he knew that as long as he didn't handle it well, these people would skin them on the spot. The reason why I can still be at peace with myself now is because there is still room for improvement. Seeing this, Han Yan could only shake his head helplessly. Yi Chen, although I believe you, the Han family also needs to survive. Ruoxuan still has to apologize to the Zhao family. No matter what, we have to delay the production of the medicine, right? Han Jian changed his tone from the order just now to a discussion tone. When Yi Chen saw this, he was immediately overjoyed. It seems that he has successfully mastered this Han Jian, and it is only a matter of time before he takes control of the Han family. Yi Chen sensed that Han Jian's tone was getting kinder, and he smiled and said, Uncle, believe me. These 2 prescriptions alone are enough to transform the Han family into a truly first-class family. Ruoxuan doesn't like Zhao Hengyan to begin with, so why bother her? After hearing this, Han Jian was ready to take a gamble. Forget it, I believe you once. Although Han Jian still wanted Han Ruoxuan to apologize, after all, Yi Chen gave him too much. After Yi Chen and the family left, Han Jian finally discussed with Han Ruoxuan and asked her to have a good relationship with Zhao Hengyan. As an adult, he wanted it all. Imperial capital, Zhao family. After a night of practice, Zhao Hengyan finally broke through 2 small realms and reached the 8-star level of the war spirit. But because there are not enough training resources, it is impossible to move forward one step further. It seems that I have to tell my father to lift the ban, otherwise I may not be able to beat Yi Chen in half a month. While he was thinking about it, Su Mengli suddenly walked towards him. I broke through 2 small realms in one night. I am worthy of being a top fighting spirit. Sister Mengli, are you here specifically to see the results of my cultivation? Zhao Hengyan felt that there must be something wrong with Su Mengli coming over. You guessed right. Su Mengli looked at Zhao Hengyan with a smile. My mother rushed back overnight after receiving the news last night. She is probably arriving soon. Hurry up and clean it up. Why are you still hanging there? After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan was ready to leave to clean up. Unexpectedly, before he had gone far, he suddenly heard familiar footsteps coming from the door. Meet the mistress. I saw a plump lady with a noble temperament and a smile walking towards the gate. This is the predecessor's mother, Su Qingyu, whom she saw for the first time today. In addition to Su Qingyu, there were also several men and women dressed in black following behind. These people all revealed a terrifying murderous aura, like soldiers returning from the front line. But unlike the soldiers, these people's eyes were as cold as puppets. Zhao Hengyan recalled the plot of the original work in his mind, trying to understand who these people were. Yunur, I heard that your fighting spirit has achieved a breakthrough in upgrading. Su Qingyu asked softly with a smile. Yes, didn't Sister Mengli tell you? Zhao Hengyan was a little helpless. Although he already knew, he had to ask everyone again. Although I am concerned, I feel a little impatient. Isn't this because I care about you and want to confirm again? Su Qingyu felt a little more relieved when she looked at Zhao Hengyan, whose temperament had undergone a huge transformation. By the way, I heard that you and that girl from the Han family broke off your engagement. Yes, we should send someone to the Han family today to break off the engagement and tear up the marriage contract. In addition to breaking off the engagement, the Han family has received so many benefits and needs to get it back. Hearing that Zhao Hengyan made such a decisive decision, Su Mengli and Su Qingyu felt even more relieved. The originally temperamental and unreasonable young master of the Zhao family has finally grown up and become sensible. Okay, Mom supports you. If you have any problem, you can talk to Mengli first. If you really can't solve it, just talk to your parents. Don't worry, we are your biggest backing. Just remember that you are the young master of the Zhao family and the only heir. Don't be afraid if the sky falls. Listening to Su Qingyu's words, Zhao Hengyan suddenly felt more confident and more moved. This kind of family affection is really good and precious. According to the setting in the book, although the Zhao family is the only top family in the book that has family ties, when I really feel it, I still feel different. For some reason, he seemed to be trampling Yi Chen under his feet and taunting him. Are you the one calling me the protagonist? My family background is not comparable, my strength is not comparable, and the cheats are not as good as mine. The most important thing is that I have a family. Okay, thank you, Mom. Zhao Hengyan replied with emotion. But I'm really in trouble now. All the resources my uncle gave me were used up last night. After hearing this, both Su Qingyu and Su Qingyu had a flash of surprise in their eyes and then suppressed it. Who is Zhao Long, the half-step emperor or the elder of the Zhao family? The resources provided are of high quality and quantity, so they can be used for a period of time. But Zhao Hengyan used it all in one night. This speed is really amazing. If Su Qingyu hadn't felt the aura of Zhao Hengyan's 8-star war spirit, she might have doubted whether she had given something to Han Ruoxuan again. But resources are a trivial matter to the Zhao family, let alone being the sole heir. Su Qingyu then took out a token from the space ring and handed it to Zhao Hengyan. After Zhao Hengyan took it, he took a closer look and saw that it was actually his young master's order. Before his father, the head of the Zhao family, ordered the lifting of the ban, his mother actually returned the young master's order to her. It doesn't matter. Now that your talent has improved and you have awakened, you need a lot of resources to practice. I don't know how long it will take to wait for your father to come back. Besides, what are you afraid of if you have a mother? Yes, I currently need a lot of resources to level up, and I don't know when Zhao Zhan will come back. As a great emperor, I might come back once or twice a year to see him, but if my fighting spirit hadn't been upgraded now, I probably wouldn't have come back to see him. By the way, I brought you a guardian when I came back this time. When Zhao Hengyan was still thinking about how he could use resources at will after getting the token, Su Qingyu pulled him back with one sentence. A woman wearing black clothes, with a slender figure and extremely beautiful face came out and came to them. This is Yi Yuyan, the leader of the Nightwalker Tien group. I will hand her over to you today. Yuyan, keep the young master safe. Yes, President. When he heard the word, Night Traveler, Zhao Hengyan's pupils shrank and he suddenly remembered something. This is the famous assassin organization in the original work, which is extremely powerful in combat, and Su Qingyu is the president of the Night Walkers. And this Yi Yuyan is the leader of the Tien group, a famous gold medal killer, and is known as the #1 person under the quasi-emperor. No wonder he felt that these people had a strong murderous aura as soon as he entered. It's a pity that in the original work, the top management of Nightwalker basically died in the battle due to his own reasons, and was finally recruited by Yi Chen to deal with the Zhao family. Zhao Hengyan knew that his mother had many powerful forces and similar organizations. I just didn't expect that my mother would actually use such a powerful killer as her guardian. What a waste of natural resources. Behind the scenes, there is already a powerful quasi-emperor as a guardian. On the surface, he wants someone who can be seen as a guardian and use it as an assistant. I didn't expect that I would suddenly recruit a big boss to act as my bodyguard in a novice village. Judging from the current plot, this Yi Yuyan is at least the emperor of war, but I don't know what level. But it's enough, except for the first-class aristocratic families, it can basically go sideways. Mom, wouldn't it be too wasteful to use team leader Yi as a guardian? Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but ask. Why do you say that? You are the young master of the Zhao family. You must behave accordingly when you go out. Otherwise, outsiders would still think that our Zhao family is in dire straits. Su Qingyu's taken for granted look made Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but take a deep breath. Chapter 11. Perhaps his previous world was too small, and he didn't know how arrogant the upper class was. Now he realized this. In the eyes of outsiders, the 8th and 9th levels are all top-notch masters. They are the top forces in second-rate and lower families and are the pillars of the family. In some martial arts sects and other forces, they are basically elders or guardians. But now these people can only be regarded as middle-level forces in the Zhao family, and even guarding the door requires his consent. Okay, then, is that it, Mom? The college competition will be held in a while, and I will work harder to practice well and win face for our Zhao family. Zhao Hengyan said confidently, and then turned and left. But before leaving, he asked Yi Yuyan to go to the Han family to cancel the engagement for him and get this done. Looking at Zhao Hengyan's leaving figure, Su Mengli couldn't help asking, Mom, why don't you ask Xiaoyan how to upgrade the fighting spirit? Su Qingyu smiled and didn't speak after hearing this. After a long time, she slowly said, why didn't you ask yesterday? He will tell you when he wants to. If he doesn't, no matter how much you ask, you won't get any results. As soon as she finished speaking, Su Qingyu suddenly looked regretful. Seeing this, Su Mengli asked anxiously, Mom, what's wrong? Is there something important or something happened? There is something more important. Su Qingyu sighed and said, didn't Yun'er break off the engagement with the Han family? I just asked him if he had any girl he liked. If he can't find one, the old man might take out some engagements for him to arrange a marriage. Su Mengli. At this time, Zhao Hengyan in the secret room vaguely heard the conversation outside. He was complaining crazily. How come in another world, the same mother? Recalling the previous life, he was forced by his mother to go on blind dates during the winter and summer vacations. Now he is the young master of the Zhao family, the heir of a top family. Why do I still have to go on a blind date? Forget it, don't think about it and practice hard. After all, Yi Chen is a wall hanger, who can practice by himself for 24 hours without interruption. If he takes the initiative to practice, the speed can be increased by at least twice. Although Zhao Hengyan didn't know the details, it was said in the original book after all. Afterwards, Zhao Hengyan used the young master's order to send a large amount of cultivation materials suitable for him, such as elixirs, herbs, and even spiritual liquids, into his room. Looking at the countless resources, Zhao Hengyan, who had read the original book and witnessed the scenes of arrogance, was also dumbfounded at the piles of items. What 4th grade, 5th grade, and even 6th grade items were presented in front of him. These things are unattainable for ordinary families, and even some second-rate families have to bleed a lot to get them. Is this like eating a buffet? Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but complain. Gorgeous, too generous, these are not only not enough for casual use, but can also be added. Then, Zhao Hengyan operated the Holy Demon Art, which greatly increased the absorption speed. All those miraculous elixirs were absorbed into the body, and spiritual liquids were absorbed like drinking water. The spiritual pool in Zhao Hengyan's body was constantly filled, and finally broke and then repaired. It was unknown how long this process lasted. His spiritual pool was constantly expanding and his aura was constantly strengthening. 8-star battle spirit great perfection, 9-star battle spirit early stage, 9-star middle stage. The morning sun shone into the room. Han Ruoxuan opened her sleepy eyes. What happened yesterday was too much of a shock to her, and she didn't sleep well all night. Although she woke up in a daze at this moment, she was still thinking about yesterday's world. Is Zhao Hengyan really going to break off the engagement with him? Although after getting rid of Zhao Hengyan, Han Ruoxuan suddenly felt very relaxed, but now that she thought about it, she felt a little empty. She wanted to get along with Yi Chen openly, but when she thought of Zhao Hengyan's words, "You don't deserve it," she felt a little reluctant. Why did he say that? Wasn't he licking himself all the time? This must have been faked by Zhao Hengyan, who even used the power of the Zhao family to force him to do so. Yes, that must be the case. Han Ruoxuan firmly believed that this was an illusion. As long as she went to Zhao Hengyan to admit her mistake, the problem would be solved. Zhao Hengyan will not let him go, everything is just an act. Just as Han Ruoxuan walked out of the room, she saw her parents' faces were even gloomier than yesterday. Mom and Dad, what's wrong? When you came back last night, did you see anything strange in the imperial capital? Han Jian asked in a deep voice. Vision. Han Ruoxuan recalled the scene of having dinner with Yi Chen last night, but it was so normal and there was nothing strange about it. In fact, this is not to blame Han Ruoxuan, because the residences in the imperial capital are divided into 3, 6 or 9 grades. The Yang family, the royal family of China, several top aristocratic families and some top first-class aristocratic families all live in the same area. Several people worked together to set up a magic circle in that area, which can basically block or weaken the phenomena of heaven and earth that occur within the area. Therefore, the abnormal phenomenon caused by Zhao Hengyan last night was weakened layer by layer, and what was finally displayed to the outside world was a larger movement. Almost no one would notice it, and if they did, it would be assumed that it was caused by ordinary people. No, Dad, what's wrong? Han Ruoxuan asked innocently. It is said that Zhao Hengyan caused a strange phenomenon in the world yesterday, which was extremely large in scale. It's also possible that his fighting spirit has advanced. Hearing this, Han Ruoxuan couldn't help but shrink her pupils, and her heart suddenly trembled. What? Han Ruoxuan couldn't help but exclaimed. It's not his fault. After all, she had never heard of Zhao Hengyan's fighting spirit being able to advance. War spirit upgrades exist, but the crowd is extremely small and special. As for Zhao Hengyan's fighting spirit, except for a few old guys who know her special nature, almost no one of Han Ruoxuan's generation knows about it. What's wrong? At this moment, Han Jian discovered that his daughter had been dating Zhao Hengyan for so long without knowing about it. Then he told everything he knew. After learning the truth, Han Ruoxuan suddenly couldn't sit still. She realized she had made a wrong decision. A young master from an aristocratic family who may be as talented as Yi Chen but also has almost inexhaustible training resources. Did you just miss it? Not willing to give in, she is willing to do so. No, I definitely still have a chance. Zhao Hengyan definitely loves him. All this is temporary and an illusion. Han Ruoxuan tried to calm herself down in this way. Thinking of everything Zhao Hengyan had done for herself in the past few years, she became even more determined. Zhao Hengyan definitely still loves him. I know about my father. I will go to Zhao's house now to ask for his forgiveness. When Han Jian heard this, he finally showed a smile of relief. The Zhao family said they wanted to break off the engagement, but in fact the marriage certificate had not been destroyed. Then there will be hope for all this. Just when Han Jian was still in a beautiful fantasy, a loud noise outside the house broke the illusion. Only to hear several car engine sounds getting louder and louder from far to near. Squeak. Accompanied by several brake sounds, Han Jian's heart suddenly trembled, and he instantly thought of something, feeling that something was wrong. His originally rosy face turned pale with fear, and his hands couldn't help but clenched his fists. Just as he mustered up the courage and prepared to get up to see what was going on. The next second, several compact footsteps sounded, and then the tightly closed door suddenly opened. A woman in black, with a slender figure, a cold face, and a faintly terrifying murderous aura appeared in front of them. Following behind her were several men in black who also exuded terrifying murderous auras, all of whom scattered and blocked the door. As a half-step quasi-emperor, Han Jian felt a strong sense of crisis about the woman in front of him. Everyone, you. Before Han Jian finished speaking, the woman in black interrupted him directly. We are from the Zhao family. I am here to cancel the engagement on the orders of the young master. Master Han, please show us the marriage certificate. As she spoke, Yi Yuyan looked at Han Ruoxuan coldly, which frightened her. Han Ruoxuan was still a pampered student, so how could she have seen such a terrifying look? Adding the aura emanating from Yi Yuyan, Han Ruoxuan was immediately breathless. What a terrifying woman! From her words, it seems that she is just a subordinate of Zhao Hengyan, but how can a servant have such a terrifying sense of oppression? This aura is not inferior to my father at all. Is the Zhao family so terrifying? Han Ruoxuan fell into deep thought and could not come back to her senses for a long time. It was too terrifying, really too terrifying. In her mind, her father was almost a powerful man, as if he was nothing in front of the Zhao family. How much did Zhao Hengyan hide from her? The more Han Ruoxuan thought about it, the more afraid she became. As she thought about it, she even had some resentment towards Zhao Hengyan. She thought that he had been hiding the truth from her and had not been honest with her, revealing all the details of the Zhao family. When she turned around, she saw that Han Jian was sweating and pale, and tremblingly handed the marriage certificate to Yi Yuyan. Then, in front of everyone, the 2 marriage certificates were directly destroyed and turned into dust. When the marriage certificates were destroyed, Han Ruoxuan did not feel any joy but felt a little disappointed. Seeing Yi Yuyan's departure, Han Jian's family felt that the matter was over, but a bigger storm seemed to be coming. From now on, the Zhao family and the Han family will no longer have any relationship. Yi Yuyan walked out of the door and announced the news loudly to the surroundings before getting in the car. As the car started and left the Han family's door, suddenly, several voices came out of the originally empty and deserted surroundings. There were at least a dozen men and women, and they rushed into the Han family with unfriendly faces. It was true. When more than a dozen figures appeared in front of Han Jian, he collapsed to the ground and cried, "The Han family is finished." Some of these people came to collect debts, some to terminate contracts, and some to seek revenge. After all, the Han family had done too many things in the name of the Zhao family before, and the number of enemies they had made was too many to count. Now that the Zhao family is gone, the debts that should be paid must be paid. Unlike Han Ruoxuan's tragic experience, Zhao Hengyan was sitting in the back garden of the Zhao mansion at this moment, enjoying the life of a rich young man. After practicing for so long, I have to enjoy myself. Zhao Hengyan took a sip of fine wine and lay on a lounge chair to enjoy the sunbath. Young master, the engagement has been cancelled. The people below will handle the remaining matters for us. Yi Yuyan quietly appeared behind Zhao Hengyan to report the situation. After Zhao Hengyan finished speaking, he turned back and re-examined the cold female killer in front of him. Slender thighs, curvy figure, beautiful face, and very capable. Hiss. Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but secretly cursed his predecessor. You don't have so many beautiful girls, why are you going to lick Han Ruoxuan? The only thing Zhao Hengyan knew about Su Qingyu was that the people given to him were not only super capable, but also all of them were first-rate beauties. It's great to have a mother like this. Is this the life of a rich person? Bashi. Even though she had experienced hundreds of battles and had seen countless things, Yi Yuyan felt uncomfortable being stared at by Zhao Hengyan like this. There was a slight blush on her face, and she asked shyly, "Young master, is there anything else?" Zhao Hengyan turned around and found Yi Yuyan looking shy, and realized that his behavior seemed to be a bit too much. Then, he smiled coquettishly and said, "It's okay. You can go down and rest first." "Yes, young master." After saying that, Yi Yuyan was about to stand up when she suddenly thought of something and turned around immediately. "Young master, there is one more thing that I forgot to report." "What's up?" "The president and the head of the family have selected some people for the young master to serve as bodyguards. Do you want the young master to go and select them yourself?" Zhao Hengyan realized again that his life could still be so luxurious. In addition to the war emperor assisting him, he also needs to be equipped with an escort team, and he can also choose his own people. When I think of my father, who has a military background, and my mother, who is an underground force. Zhao Hengyan felt that this group of people was definitely not simple. If they were pulled out, they could easily wipe out a small family. Choose it yourself. Forget it, just help me check it. Zhao Hengyan was not that concerned about this matter. He believed in his parents' vision. Yes, young master. After Yi Yuyan left, Zhao Hengyan thought that it seemed that his soul had not left for a walk in his own world. Well, the world is so big, I should go and see it first. Moreover, Zhao Hengyan, who was a low-class cow horse in his previous life, always envied the life of the Romans and dreamed of driving a luxury car of his own one day. Now that he is the young master of the Zhao family, there should be many sports cars in the garage. Although the predecessor's work was relatively monotonous, he was still the young master of the Zhao family, and his style was still much higher than that of ordinary people. Even though Zhao Hengyan was mentally prepared, he was still stunned when he arrived at the garage. Is this a garage? This underground garage is divided into 3 floors, each floor is the size of several football fields. This is not a vehicle owned by the Zhao family, but the young master's own garage. If it weren't for the fact that he could only enter by himself, he would have doubted whether he was in the wrong place. Maybe the car manufacturer's warehouses are not as large as his. Recalling the memories of its predecessor, the car here is no ordinary sports car out there. But since he was a child, his family, businessmen, and other people have given him hearses. The abbreviation of a vehicle blessed by a spiritual array. From the production of materials to the layout of the spiritual array, these cars are all standard magical weapons of level 6 or above. Encountering attacks from some ordinary spirits, there will be no impact at all. How inhumane. The brands of these cars are all targets that ordinary people will never see, let alone a 6th level magic weapon. Is it because he has the memories of his previous life, or is he unable to digest these things for a while? Boom. The loud sound of the engine resounded throughout the garage, and a black sports car drove slowly. Handsome. Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but sigh. The car he chose was not only a global limited edition supercar manufactured by the well-known brand Gu Luodi, but it was also driven by the well-known formation master Ghoul. In terms of power, it can match the speed of a 6th level War Master's full sprint, and in terms of defense, it directly ignores the attacks of ordinary 7th level War Masters. After traveling through time, he not only wanted to suppress Yi Chen and seize his luck. The most important thing is to enjoy it. Why suppress Yi Chen? Not for your own good life. As the car left the garage, Yi Yuyan came to Zhao Hengyan with 8 people behind her. 4 men and 4 women, no need to think too much, they must be bodyguards assigned to them by their parents. The man must have been chosen by his father from the army, and the woman must have been chosen by her mother. Zhao Hengyan stopped the car and looked at the 8 people carefully, all of them showing terrifying murderous intent. One by one, they climbed up from hell like Shira. However, Zhao Hengyan's eyes always stayed on those female killers, but they were too beautiful to look at. As expected of my mother, she really understands me. At this time, his heart was already blooming with joy. Although he is not that kind of person, he looks good. These 4 are called wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. These 4 are called wind, flower, snow, and moon. Yi Yuyan introduced the 8 people to Zhao Hengyan and then added. These 8 people are all at the level of 7th level war commanders. They are all top-notch experts in the army and in the world. Tisk tisk tisk, it's a big move. 8 war masters, these are the backbone of the big family. Not only is the fighting power strong, but the most important thing is loyalty. The people below can be incompetent, but they cannot be disloyal. See young master. 8 people congratulated in unison. Seeing such a huge formation and the respectful attitude of the 8 people. It's so cool. Zhao Hengyan said one word in his heart, cool. This situation seems to remind me of a familiar scene. He seemed to be the crooked-mouthed Dragon King, and all these people knelt down and shouted long live. Tisk tisk tisk. What villain. Main character. Okay, now that you've followed me, I won't treat you badly. After speaking, Zhao Hengyan pointed to the hearses behind him and said calmly. 1 car per person, follow me. After the 8 people heard this, they were shocked and immediately stunned. I didn't expect the young master to be so heroic. This is a hearse. It has a price but no market outside. It was given to me as soon as they met. Although these people are all loyal Deadpools, they are human beings and have feelings. Originally asking them to protect Zhao Hengyan just to obey orders, now it has become a thought from the bottom of their hearts. After Zhao Hengyan finished speaking, he didn't do anything more and just gave Yi Yuyan a look. After Yi Yuyan saw it, she sat in the passenger seat with a cold expression. The remaining people worked in pairs and selected a few supercars. After leaving Zhao's house, Zhao Hengyan couldn't help but exclaimed as he looked at the crowded streets and the towering skyscrapers outside. It's great to have money. The imperial capital seems prosperous, but the prosperity belongs to a small group of people like Zhao Hengyan. Young master, don't you have so many hearses, countless spiritual stones, and endless cultivation resources? Why do you still sigh like this? Yi Yuyan was puzzled. She was born with a golden key in her mouth and already had everything. She didn't need to struggle at all. Why do you express emotions that do not belong to this class? After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan realized that he had made a mistake, and immediately smiled and said, "It's nothing, just what I felt." On the road, everyone looked at this luxurious motorcade and were amazed at the cool vehicles. Whose young master is traveling? Maid, I'm so envious. As the car in the middle a groat. I can't afford a single wheel in my life. Although in the era of spiritual energy recovery, the higher the cultivation level, the faster the speed. Many people no longer have access to cars. But in addition to being a symbol of status, these cars are more importantly because some top car companies can use materials to create vehicles of this era. Not only is it faster, but it also has some defensive capabilities. If a formation master made a formation for it, it would become a unique hearse. Not only is the price more than 10 times that of ordinary vehicles, but more importantly, the formation production is extremely cumbersome. Therefore, hearses have a price but no market. Zhao Hengyan in the car heard the exclamations of passers-by outside, and suddenly felt like a nouveau riche in his heart. No, I am the young master of the Zhao family. However, the feeling of pretending is so good. As the accelerator roared, Zhao Hengyan started racing again. Not far away, a young man with yellow hair couldn't help but curse after seeing this. Whose nouveau riche is this? A nouveau riche dares to be so crazy. It seems that he doesn't take us in the imperial capital seriously. A thin man with pink hair next to him also complained. Brother Yang, give him a look. Another green-haired man next to him said to the yellow-haired man. Grandma, let's go. Let him know why the imperial capital is called the imperial capital. After saying that, the three of them started their sports cars and followed Zhao Hengyan. While Zhao Hengyan was still enjoying this wonderful life, 3 sports cars suddenly appeared next to them, and then they accelerated their horsepower, directly blocking Zhao Hengyan's path. Seeing this, Yi Yuyan was about to go down and teach these people a lesson, but Zhao Hengyan immediately stopped her. Don't worry, I haven't had enough fun yet. He then sent a message to his team, telling them not to move. Are you crazy? Huang Mao, the leader, walked up to Zhao Hengyan angrily. I was so crazy in the imperial capital just now, I want to die. After saying that, Huang Mao saw Yi Yuyan in the passenger seat through the car window, and instantly felt evil thoughts. And Zhao Hengyan was aroused by this sudden incident and had an unknown karma in his heart. What? The emperor is from your family. Brother, why do you turn this shit on and off? Hearing Zhao Hengyan's unkind tone, several people burst out laughing. Boy, since I see you are not from the imperial city, I won't argue with you. Just let the girl next to you accompany me. From now on, we should keep a low profile. We in the imperial capital will not speak, and you outsiders will just watch quietly. Huang Mao looked at Zhao Hengyan wildly, his face full of teasing. So, you are our son. Huang Mao laughed and said, nonsense, only we, our disciples, can be so crazy in the imperial capital. Which one is yours? Me, I'm from the famous Sun family. Listen up, my name is Sun Yang. Brother Yang, I'll let you go this time. It won't be so easy next time. After hearing about the Sun family, Zhao Hengyan searched around in his predecessor's memory and found no news about the Sun family. It seems like it's just a small family. Thinking of this, Zhao Hengyan had a murderous intent on his face. Boy, get out of the car quickly, ask your female companion to come down and accompany me, and then you can get out. Sun Yang said with an annoyed look. What if I don't? Yo-ho, the 2 little followers behind Sun Yang laughed when they heard this. Brother Yang, this guy doesn't even give you face. Sun Yang's face changed after hearing this. He didn't expect that this outsider would dare not give him face. Boy, I think your car is pretty good. Let's go and compete. If I win, the car will be mine. If I lose, the whole thing will be wiped off. Seeing Zhao Hengyan's car, Sun Yang realized that its value was no worse than his own limited edition car. So he felt a little more excited. Okay, let's compare. In his previous life, Zhao Hengyan could ride a baby stroller on Chuming Mountain, so he was very confident in his driving skills. Hearing Zhao Hengyan's decisive answer, Sun Yang was already happy. Then he gave the two followers beside him a look. Let's go with brother. After saying that, Sun Yang started the car and prepared to take Zhao Hengyan to a remote place for a competition. Young master, why don't you let me deal with these ants directly? Yi Yuyan asked with a puzzled look on her face. After all, these people are only members of a small family, and their combat effectiveness is also low. He can wipe them all out with just one slap. Look, you're in a hurry. Zhao Hengyan shook his head and smiled. We came out to play, so let's have fun. After a long time, Sun Yang took Zhao Hengyan to a barren mountain. Next it is a road surrounding the mountain. Boy, listen up. Let's start from here together. Whoever reaches the bottom of the mountain first will win. After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan didn't say much and started the engine directly. You're so crazy. I'll wait until you cry. Sun Yang saw Zhao Hengyan's arrogant look and cursed directly. Immediately, he and his two younger brothers got into the car at the same time and started the engine. Boy, don't blame me for bullying you. As long as someone in your team can win, I will count you as the winner. After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan sneered and said, okay, in this case I won't bully you. Let you run 10 kilometers first. After hearing this, Sun Yang immediately released the brakes, stepped on the accelerator and flew hundreds of meters away. What the hell, are all outsiders stupid now? Sun Yang couldn't help but complain. Young master, can you win? Yi Yuyan looked at Zhao Hengyan with suspicion. When the president assigned her to him, he didn't seem to have said that he could race cars. When starting a supercar, you need to control the strength of your left foot at the critical point of the clutch, so that you can have better grip. Zhao Hengyan smiled evilly and then stepped on the accelerator. Boom! With the roar of the engine, the car flew out like lightning. Since it is a hearse, it is blessed both in terms of speed and safety. However, since this is a winding mountain road with many curves, you have to slow down every time you turn a corner. Zhao Hengyan was a little confused. Why are you still thinking about these primitive competition methods when everyone can fly and escape? For example, in the Western Bull country, bullfighting was used in the past. After the spiritual energy was revived, he turned into a fighting beast. There is also the North Bear country. In the past, ordinary bullet guns were used to play Death Wheel, but now Death Wheel is still played but the guns have been upgraded to spirit guns. There is also a brand's advertising slogan called, "Your death is beyond your imagination." I played extreme sports back then, and I still play extreme sports now. It just transforms into various kinds of strange beasts that seek death and challenge. In short, no matter how the content changes, the gameplay will still be the same. Brother Yang, that kid can't even eat our exhaust. The green-haired man laughed and said, make him crazy. But the girl next to him is so young, why can't I meet her? Brother Yang, don't worry, it will be yours soon. The green-haired man suddenly exclaimed just after he finished speaking. What's wrong? Sun Yang couldn't help but ask. The green-haired man didn't reply for a long time, and kept staring blankly at the scene in the rearview mirror. I saw Zhao Hengyan and his convoy growing from a small dot to a larger one. It wasn't until Sun Yang shouted several times that the green-haired man turned around. Brother Yang, look in the rearview mirror. That kid actually came after me. After hearing this, Sun Yang scolded the green-haired man, what the hell are you talking about? Is this kid so fast? My growth is as fast as a 4th level warrior. With full throttle, I can compete with a low-star 5th level warrior. However, complaints are complaints, and Sun Yang still looked in the rearview mirror. He saw Zhao Hengyan's motorcade gradually approaching him, and the image became clear. This kid is really fast. But Sun Yang didn't panic at all. After all, there were 18 turns next. He expected that no matter how fast Zhao Hengyan was, he would have to brake and slow down there. Zhao Hengyan carefully played with the upcoming curve and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. As the mountain road 18 bends, in an instant, he recalled his food delivery skills in his previous life and the memory of driving a Wuling Zhiguang in Chumingshan. The Akina mountain racing god of yesteryear is back. After saying that, Zhao Hengyan stepped on the accelerator with excitement and reached full speed. Ex-husband Sun Yang had just turned the corner when he saw Zhao Hengyan, who was still accelerating. Is this kid going to die? Sun Yang and his younger brother were both stunned. Although spiritual energy is now revived, for these low-level spiritual beings, you will still die if you fall down the mountain. Even if he is immortal, the meridians throughout his body are almost severed and he is still useless. But besides being shocked, Sun Yang was more distressed. I feel sorry for that sports car and the woman in it. Just as Sun Yang had passed a few corners, Zhao Hengyan was already close at hand. Soon, the shadow of Zhao Hengyan's car was not far behind Sun Yang. Stop that kid. Sun Yang called on the two younger brothers to get into position, trying to stop Zhao Hengyan. What he didn't expect was that at the next turn, Zhao Hengyan actually passed him. Sun Yang and others were all amazed after seeing it. Is this a human being? Invincible. What the hell, you kid, wait until you cry later. Several people complained crazily, but what shocked them even more was that the way Zhao Hengyan turned around was to use a drainage ditch to turn around. The kind that doesn't slow down yet. Is this a bend in the drainage channel? Zhao Hengyan was driving wildly in the car, thinking of the white A86 in his mind. But the A86 can't catch up with the Mercedes-Benz, and the Mercedes-Benz can't catch up with my growth. After going through several consecutive corners without slowing down, the accelerator door was welded shut. Zhao Hengyan rushed down the mountain and reached the foot of the mountain. After a long time, Sun Yang and others, accompanied by 8 guards, arrived. You're so cruel, kid. Sun Yang turned pale and pointed at Zhao Hengyan and cursed angrily. But don't be complacent. I told you that it's not easy to offend everyone in the imperial capital. Zhao Hengyan sneered and said, if you have any other tricks, use them quickly. I'm in a hurry. Sun Yang looked at Zhao Hengyan proudly, shook his head and said with a smile, here he comes. I saw a dozen sports cars coming not far away, and dozens of men and women disembarked from them. Brother Yang, where is the person you want to teach you a lesson? Asked a man in white clothes and sunglasses. Sun Yang pointed at Zhao Hengyan, who was sitting in the car with a sullen expression. Now, here it is. It doesn't matter how you deal with this boy. The girl next to you stays. After saying that, the man in white walked straight to Zhao Hengyan's car. Then the aura of a warrior burst out from his body. Brother Hai is a 3-star combat master, you are finished. As soon as he finished speaking, Brother Hai gathered his energy and punched Zhao Hengyan's car, trying to smash it to pieces. Seeing this scene, everyone present showed amusement on their faces. Boy, today I'm going to let you know how to write, Emperor, in the imperial capital. Brother Hai's eyes were full of disdain for the outsider, Zhao Hengyan, in front of him. Then he punched Zhao Hengyan's car. What the people around him didn't expect was that Zhao Hengyan didn't have any panic in his eyes but was calm and collected. This kid was frightened when he saw it. A girl present smiled disdainfully. Boom. The next second, Brother Hai's fist condensed with spiritual power hit the car hard, making a heavy sound. Immediately afterwards, everyone present showed a surprised expression. How is it possible? Brother Hai is a 5th-level combat master. My Pesiga can be smashed by a 5th-level warrior's punch, but this car actually doesn't move at all. Do you think this could be a hearse? Boom. As soon as these words came out, everyone present was startled, and the air became quiet. It is possible that only the hearse could withstand the attack. But in the next second, this theory was overturned by them. No way, absolutely impossible. How can an outsider afford a hearse? Yes, even if you can afford an ordinary hearse, there will be some reaction. Maybe his materials are better, but Brother Hai didn't take them seriously. Brother Hai's heart skipped a beat when he heard this, and only he knew it. It took 70% to 80% of the strength, but it didn't impress me. But he forced himself to calm down and forced a smile on his face. Of course, don't look at who I am. Next, I'm going to get serious. After listening, Zhao Hengyan laughed on the spot and said, is that okay? As soon as these words came out, Brother Hai became angry on the spot. Boy, you are so arrogant. After speaking, Brother Hai revealed his fighting spirit, his body covered with a layer of scales. This kid is finished, and he actually let Brother Hai's fighting spirit appear. But that girl, I haven't enjoyed it yet. War spirit appearance is a skill that only spiritual beings above the War Master level can possess. You can change your own body and acquire some of the characteristics of the fighting spirit. At the same time, it can enhance most of its own abilities. The key point is that it can amplify and enhance the original characteristics of the fighting spirit. This man named Hai Jie, his fighting spirit is a dragon. Therefore, he can have scales on his body, and his strength and physical strength will be greatly improved. Shattering Sky Fist. Brother Hai almost exploded with all his strength and attacked Zhao Hengyan directly. Holy shit, Brother Hai actually used all his special moves. As expected of the eldest son of the Jiyu family, not only is his talent excellent, but his skills are also beyond the reach of those of us. Zhao Hengyan caught the keyword, Jiyu family. Then she asked Yi Yuyan beside her, what is the Jiyu family? Yi Yuyan sneered. The Jiyu family is just a second-rate family, young master, don't worry. After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan immediately became happy. Sure enough, it's not like you can't touch anyone in the same circle. Anything I haven't heard of is rubbish. As soon as he finished speaking, Brother Hai's full blow hit the car hard. Even a top fighter would have to weigh this punch carefully. Looking at the rising dust, Brother Hai sneered disdainfully. As the dust dispersed, everyone froze in place for the next second, looking at the unscathed sports car as if they had been struck by lightning. And Zhao Hengyan, who was still chatting and laughing with the beauty in the car. At this moment, they were sure that this was a hearse. And it's of high quality, not the street stalls they know. The next second, a more terrifying idea appeared in front of them. A limited edition sports car and a fine hearse. This is simply beyond the reach of their class. In this way, the man in front of him is not an outsider at all, but a young master from a top family in the imperial capital. With this thought, the people brought by Brother Hai and Sun Yang were all trembling. Even Brother Hai immediately collapsed to the ground and looked at Zhao Hengyan with a pale face. Zhao Hengyan saw that none of them took any action, and immediately ordered all his people to come out. The moment when Yi Yuyan, Feng Yulei Dian, Feng Hua Shuiyu and 8 others stood up. Brother Hai and the others felt a strong murderous aura. You can't kill me. I am the second young master of the Jiyu family, you can't kill me. Zhao Hengyan glanced at everyone with cold eyes and said with a smile, is it all over? Now it's my time to perform. That spring-breathing smile looked as terrifying to them as the god of death. Did you just say that you were the second young master of the Jiyu family? You said you were from the Sun family. Zhao Hengyan looked at Brother Hai and Sun Yang. The next second, the two people immediately knelt down and kowtowed to Zhao Hengyan like crazy. Brother, if you have enough money, please spare our lives. Brother, I'm sorry that I'm blind, so I'll ask our family members to give you a large amount of spiritual stones. The two begged frantically for mercy, but Zhao Hengyan said nothing. He just sighed. It's great to have money, power and status. If I were still a food delivery guy, I probably wouldn't know how I would die. Now I can stand at the top of the food chain and watch these rich boys perform for me like clowns. The Jiyu family, the Sun family are nothing. Zhao Hengyan said coldly and clapped his hands at the same time. The next second, Yi Yuyan and the others directly burst out the breath from their whole bodies. Fight! Fight! War Emperor! Zong! Zong! There are still 8. Is this something we can mess with? This may not be as simple as a first-class family. A few of the mentally ill ones fainted and fell to the ground. There were also several people who had yellow liquid appearing under their bodies, emitting a fishy smell. I wanted to have fun with you. Now I won't play anymore, let's show my cards. Zhao Hengyan waved his hand and said with a smile, I heard you say so much, it's my turn to say it. Introducing myself, my name is Zhao Hengyan, the young master of the Zhao family. Boom, Zhao family. The Zhao family in the imperial capital, oh no, the Zhao family in the Chinese state. Several people were frightened and fainted on the spot. Brother Hai and Sun Yang have lost hope of living. Just now I tried to reveal my family's identity in an attempt to intimidate him. After all, no matter how bad the Jiyu family is, it is still a second-rate family. Unless the top-notch ones come, they will lose their skin. No big family is willing to intervene and destroy other people's families just because of these things of the younger generation. Doing this will cause your own vitality to be severely damaged and be annexed by other families. But the Zhao family is different. Taking out these people present, it is not a big problem to directly destroy the Gu family. If there are, then continue to shake people. Either sway people to the military, or continue to sway people to the family. No matter how hard I shake them, I can't beat them. Moreover, there are rumors that the mistress of the Zhao family is the legitimate daughter of a hidden family, with countless underground forces under her. The Gu family is like this, let alone the Sun family. Brother Hai kowtowed and apologized. Young Master Zhao, please kill me. Please spare our Gu family. Sun Yang didn't dare to say a word, he just felt that the sky was spinning. Zhao Hengyan smiled evilly at a few people and said, I won't kill you, don't worry. Come on, come here one by one to register your children. Then he said to the 4 people from Fengyu Leiden, wait and go to their house to get some compensation. Anyway, take what's valuable. Regarding these words, Zhao Hengyan emphasized his voice. At this moment they were surprised and happy. Fortunately, my life was saved, but the death penalty can be avoided and the living penalty cannot be escaped. After returning home, the elders in the family would inevitably beat them. Moreover, it was the Zhao family that was offended, and the delamination was light. Also, let me introduce to you that my Gu Luodi is a 7th level magic weapon. Zhao Hengyan smiled evilly at Sun Yang and patted his face. Then he immediately turned around and left. Boom. As the engine sounded, Sun Yang and others breathed a sigh of relief. Why are you still standing there? Come and register. Feng roared loudly at several people. On the way back, Zhao Hengyan felt happy. I didn't expect it would be so fun to be the Dragon King slapping him in the face like crazy. He immediately thought of Yi Chen, the protagonist of the original work. In the original work, Yi Chen slapped Zhao Hengyan in the face like crazy. Then climb up step by step. The final achievement was extremely high, breaking through the realm of a saint. But now it's the other way around, the identity of hunter and prey has changed. Imperial capital, Jingwu University. In a dilapidated small street nearby. Yi Chen is renting in a small cheap building here. He was practicing when he suddenly sneezed. Someone is talking about me. Did Sister Ruoxuan miss me? When he thought of Han Ruoxuan, Yi Chen was instantly filled with fighting spirit. Oh, the Zhao family just wants to destroy the Han family. With me, Yi Chen, you can't do it. It hurts a little to think that he gave 2 good prescriptions. But as long as he could solve the Han family's crisis and capture Han Ruoxuan's heart, he suddenly felt that everything was worth it. For his sister Ruoxuan, for trampling Zhao Hengyan under his feet. Yi Chen had high morale and continued to practice. Zhao Hengyan, you didn't expect that I can practice continuously 24 hours a day. Besides, I'm still hanging. Yes, Yi Chen did hang up in addition to practicing. It's just that unlike Zhao Hengyan's, his hang-up is a bit low. Yi Chen's system is to give him instructions, or let him develop according to the original plot. It is equivalent to having a perspective, knowing what to do next and where the opportunities are. And Zhao Hengyan can not only get rewards, but also plunder his luck. Ruoxuan, what's wrong with you? Not far from the Zhao mansion, Han Ruoxuan looked at the solemn and magnificent gate with red eyes. Beside her stood a young girl. This person is Han Ruoxuan's best friend Fang Lingling, the eldest lady of a second-rate family, one of the protagonists in the original work, but a relatively supporting role. She had just returned from the secret trial in the past 2 days when she heard the news that shocked the imperial capital. The Zhao family breaks off the engagement with the Han family. Shock. The young master of the Zhao family shouldn't be a dog licker. Fang Lingling was shocked when she heard this. This big licker who had been licking for several years actually stopped licking. Although she also knew about Yi Chen and Han Ruoxuan, and she also did a lot to hide it for them. But Zhao Hengyan didn't know about this at all. Moreover, Yi Chen was just their best friend, why could Zhao Hengyan be so stingy? What she didn't expect even more was that the Zhao family actually took back all the resources after breaking off the engagement. Does Zhao Jiajia still care about these resources? Immediately, she felt that Zhao Hengyan was a coward. Han Ruoxuan had no reaction after hearing Fang Lingling's words. Still looking blankly at the door of Zhao Mansion. She asked the guard just now and Zhao Hengyan went out. So, she stayed here waiting for him to come back. Ruoxuan, if you can't wait, don't wait and go back. This man doesn't deserve what you do. Yi Chen is much better than him. Zhao Hengyan is a wealthy young man who only relies on his family's power. Fang Lingling was still fighting for her. Han Ruoxuan originally thought so too, until what happened between last night and morning. It seemed that she had experienced the ups and downs of life. Not only was the family's property lost, but both parents were beaten and seriously injured. She tried calling the police and asking for official help. But when he heard it was from the Han family, he immediately hung up the phone. Only at this moment did she realize how terrifying the Zhao family was. Last night, I still imagined that Yi Chen could save the Han family, but now the family is gone. Where does the time come from to develop? She felt that she was too naive and took things for granted. But there is one thing that Han Ruoxuan has always kept in mind. That's what Han Jian and Fang Lingling have been emphasizing. Zhao Hengyan must have deliberately made himself angry by licking him for so long. As long as he can lower his head, maybe Zhao Hengyan can forgive himself. The Han family can also be saved. Seeing Han Ruoxuan, who was silent, Fang Lingling became anxious on the spot. Ruoxuan, you can't stand here forever, can you? Even if you want to apologize to him, you can't be so humble, right? We girls have to take the initiative. If you can come to him and apologize, you have already given him face. Go back first and call Zhao Hengyan later to ask him to come to your house. Then you can apologize to him in person. Hearing this, Han Ruoxuan was a little confused and didn't know what to do. My father means one thing, but my best friend means another thing. Seeing Han Ruoxuan still unmoved, Fang Lingling immediately picked up her mobile phone and called Yi Chen. Yi Chen, who was practicing at this time, heard his cell phone ringing. I immediately got excited and picked up my phone to read it. When he saw that the contact person was Fang Lingling, he guessed whether he was going out to have fun with Han Ruoxuan. Hey, Lingling, what do you want from me? Yi Chen, come to the Zhao family quickly. Why? Because Ruoxuan is here too. What? Yi Chen became anxious on the spot when he heard the news that Han Ruoxuan was in Zhao Mansion. With scarlet eyes, he asked impatiently, what's going on with Lingling? Then, Fang Lingling told what happened in detail. Yi Chen cursed angrily on the spot. This Zhao Hengyan is just a despicable and shameless villain. Wait for me, I'll be there right away. Zhao Hengyan, who was carefree and happy on the road, suddenly heard the system prompt. Feel the protagonist's anger towards the host and gain 100 villain points. Feel the protagonist's anger towards the host and gain 100 villain points. +1, The smile on Zhao Hengyan's face was very bright. Yi Chen deserves to be the main protagonist, oh no, the money-spreading boy. Looking at the increasing villain value, Zhao Hengyan also continued to be happy. After a long time, Yi Chen rode his bicycle to the vicinity of Zhao Mansion. When he saw the two figures of Han Ruoxuan, he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he ran towards the two of them. Ruoxuan, what's wrong with you? Hearing Yi Chen's voice, Han Ruoxuan slowly turned her head and looked at the figure who once gave her unlimited hope with moist eyes. Were you forced by your father to come to Zhao Hengyan to apologize? Yi Chen also scolded Han Jian for being shameless. Not only do they want to take advantage of the Zhao family, but they also want to take advantage of themselves. Hearing that familiar and friendly voice, Han Ruoxuan lost the joy she had before. Before, she naively thought that Yi Chen would have a way to save the Han family. Ever since I met Yi Chen, I have always regarded him as the brightest star in my heart. What I didn't expect was that the Zhao family was so powerful, and they hadn't given the Han family time to develop. Killed right in the cradle. Yi Chen, you don't have to persuade me, just go back. Han Ruoxuan said with a cry. After hearing this, Yi Chen felt extremely uncomfortable and hated Zhao Hengyan even more. Zhao Hengyan, before you only had a way to kill yourself. Now you are certain to die. Yi Chen gritted his silver teeth and clenched his fists. Even though the white nails were embedded in his flesh, Yi Chen couldn't feel the pain. Angry, cold, shaking. Ruoxuan, do you really believe that I can save your Han family if you give me half a month? My master is a hidden master. I can use my master's name to attract some forces to protect you. We can also borrow some resources to alleviate the problems of your Han family. I also know some pharmaceutical factory owners. I try to give them the prescription and let them produce it. It only takes half a month and everything can be solved. Yi Chen looked at Han Ruoxuan sincerely, waiting eagerly for the school beauty's answer. Half a month, Han Ruoxuan murmured and fell into deep thought. Half a month is not a long time, but it is not short for the current Han family. She wanted to promise Yi Chen that everything would get better after half a month. The Han family can be considered a rebirth and has no connection with the Zhao family. At this moment, Han Ruoxuan felt more hatred towards Zhao Hengyan than fear. She firmly believed that it was Zhao Hengyan who caused the death of her family. She wanted revenge, but she didn't know how. Fighting for property. Needless to say, it is definitely not as good as the Zhao family, and there is nothing left now. Fight with force. Any dog in the Zhao family can bite off a piece of their flesh. Oh no, not a dog to be precise. It's a big dog several meters long, the kind with fangs and scales. Ruoxuan. Fang Lingling is also looking forward to Han Ruoxuan's decision at this moment. Ruoxuan, if it doesn't work out, I'll go through my family and see if I can give you some resources temporarily. After all, he is from a real second-rate family, not a nouveau riche like the Han family. Not only is his background much better, but giving him some money can alleviate the Han family's crisis. Boom. While the three of them were still standing there, waiting for the answer, an under-engine roar echoed through the streets like a roar. After a while, they saw a grotto and several Pegasus supercars driving towards them. Yi Chen didn't know why when he saw this scene, he suddenly felt a little sad. Maid, why don't I have this thing? When I think of myself riding a bicycle all the way in the early morning, while someone is sitting comfortably on the bicycle with a beautiful woman by my side. Yi Chen felt a little sore all over his body, but what he didn't notice was that his eyes turned red quietly, but he didn't even know it. As the motorcade approached, Han Ruoxuan and his party saw his familiar figure, Zhao Hengyan. However, Yi Yuyan next to Zhao Hengyan made the three of them have different ideas. To Yi Chen, Zhao Hengyan was a hypocrite who started in chaos and abandoned everything. How low-key he behaves in the academy on weekdays, but he didn't expect his true nature to be revealed today. Oh, Zhao Hengyan, you are a scumbag. I will deal with you one day. And the Zhao family behind you. But Fang Lingling was a little speechless. Why did Zhao Hengyan like to play such a childish trick as playing hard to get? I have been licking Han Ruoxuan for several years, but now I specially brought a beautiful woman to sit next to me. Want to draw someone's attention to create focus, so that Han Ruoxuan pays attention to herself. Childish, how could a young man from a first-class family be so childish? When Han Ruoxuan saw Yi Yuyan sitting beside her, she felt as if she had been struck by lightning and was at a loss. It seems that Zhao Hengyan's words about how much he loves me were all false. He actually found a woman so quickly after breaking off the engagement. At this time, Han Ruoxuan realized why her heart was empty. It seems like something important has been lost. Zhao Hengyan also saw these three people in the car, with a proud smile on his face. Apologizing so soon. When he was still thinking about how to take revenge on the Han family, Yi Chen's figure gave him new ideas. Why should I target the Han family? I want to target Yi Chen. The Han family was just incidental. His policy is, if Yi Chen is there to rectify Yi Chen, if there is no Yi Chen, he will go to him to rectify him. I almost forgot my original intention. He seemed to say that declaration aloud. All eyes are on me, look at me, look at me. I'm a fool. Quote. As soon as Zhao Hengyan parked the car, he saw Yi Chen rushing over in anger. Yi Yuyan frowned slightly and looked at Yi Chen's angry look with disgust. She was sure in her heart that this boy was here to stand up for Han Ruoxuan. Has he always been so brave? Don't you know that we guys can kill him with just one slap? Yi Yuyan asked Zhao Hengyan in confusion. After what they had just experienced, Yi Yuyan and the others did not get out of the car immediately and control Yi Chen but waited for Zhao Hengyan's order. He has always been so brave, and he will be even braver in the future. The playful look on Zhao Hengyan's face made Yi Yuyan suddenly feel a little pity for Yi Chen. It seemed that everything was under the control of this young master. Zhao Hengyan, you are still not a man. You are such a scumbag. Yi Chen started to curse before he even got close to the parking space. Zhao Hengyan, come down here. Others are afraid that you are the young master of the Zhao family, but I am not afraid of you, the Zhao family. Puff. As soon as these words came out, Yi Yuyan and Feng Huashuiyu, who were originally serious and silent, burst into laughter instantly. This group of people looked at this young man who was so angry that he looked like a fool. Even Zhao Hengyan, who had read the original work, was stunned when he heard this sentence. Brother, are you really so brave? Can you still say this? He knew that Yi Chen had been saying this in his heart. But it's different when you say it to your face. Moreover, the current Yi Chen is still in the development stage and is not the protagonist at all in the mid to late stage. Another thing is that the early training resources have been cut off by Zhao Hengyan. Come down, you fool, you promised not to touch Han Ruoxuan. Yi Chen slapped Zhao Hengyan's hood, pointed his hand and cursed angrily. Zhao Hengyan shook his head helplessly and gave Yi Yuyan a look. Then he got out of the car alone and faced this fool. Looking at the angry Yi Chen in front of him, Zhao Hengyan didn't care at all. What are you barking at? Hearing these words, Yi Chen was stunned. Fang Lingling and Han Ruoxuan were also confused. Why is Zhao Hengyan different from the impression? Although the former Zhao Hengyan was a rich man, he was as gentle as jade and was kind to others. It is rare to use family power to suppress or bully anyone. Even if he was insulted like today, he would not say such vulgar words, but would treat him coldly and argue with reason. Zhao Hengyan feels so strange today. To be precise, he has been a little different since yesterday. Let me ask you, what is the dog barking at? You're so deaf, aren't you? I'll ask you one last time, what are you barking at? Zhao Hengyan looked at Yi Chen coldly and cursed loudly as soon as he got out of the car. In addition, Zhao Hengyan was taller than Yi Chen, and he was the young master of a noble family. So in their view, Zhao Hengyan was looking at them with contempt for the world. They looked at them like ants. They had never seen such a domineering and cold-hearted Zhao Hengyan, and Han Ruoxuan and the others were a little stunned on the spot. Yi Chen was so frightened by Zhao Hengyan's powerful aura that he forgot what to say. The next second, Yi Chen suddenly realized that he was a warrior. No matter how awesome Zhao Hengyan is, he is still a fighting spirit, and he is a real warrior. The 18-year-old warrior trained on his own without any resources. Coupled with the existence of Gua, Yi Chen remembered something. I am the son of destiny, I am afraid of a hammer, you are just a supporting role. Immediately, Yi Chen paused to regain his composure. Zhao Hengyan, let me ask you, we agreed to compete in half a month to determine the outcome. If you lose, you won't do anything to Ruoxuan, but after just one night, you do something to the Han family. You don't keep your word, you are despicable, you are shameless. Snapped. The next second, a crisp sound sounded. The noisy sound suddenly stopped. A red slap mark suddenly appeared on Yi Chen's face. Yi Chen was stunned immediately and looked at Zhao Hengyan with dull eyes. He beat me. How dare he hit me? I'm the protagonist and you actually dare to hit me. Noisy. Zhao Hengyan waved his palm and gave Yi Yuyan a look in the car. The next second, Yi Yuyan came out of the car and respectfully handed over a tissue. In full view of everyone, Zhao Hengyan wiped the hand that hit Yi Chen. Then he threw the tissue on the ground. Are you stupid? When did I break my promise? Did I, Donghan Ruoxuan? I don't think the Han family has anything to do with Han Ruoxuan. Zhao Hengyan looked at Yi Chen as if he were a fool. Yi Chen hadn't fully recovered at this time, and was still stuck in the time when Zhao Hengyan hit him just now. Okay, you dare to hit me. You already have a way to die. No, there was a way to kill him long ago and now he is determined to die. No, it seems that I have been fighting for a long time and now I want to destroy your whole family. Yi Chen still didn't say anything, but Fang Lingling and Han Ruoxuan who were present were stunned. What does it mean that Han Ruoxuan has nothing to do with the Han family? But Zhao Hengyan did not touch Han Ruoxuan. But I always feel like something is wrong. Zhao Hengyan, what do you mean? What do you mean Han Ruoxuan has nothing to do with the Han family? Isn't Han Ruoxuan from the Han family? Yi Chen asked angrily. Snapped. The next second there was another slap, but on the other side of the face. Then, Zhao Hengyan followed the same pattern and continued to use tissues to wipe his hands and throw them away. It was detected that the protagonist was hit and very angry. He gained 10 luck points and the villain gained 200 points. +1, +1, comma. He actually dared to hit me. You still humiliate me like this. Yi Chen's body was full of energy and blood, and he was already in a state of rage. At this time, the distance between him and Zhao Hengyan was only 1 meter, and he was sure that he could give him a fatal blow and not die or be disabled. However, he was relieved that the woman next to Zhao Hengyan was not easy and calmed down a little. I didn't ask Han Ruoxuan to return the things I gave her immediately, right? But the prerequisite for the Han family to take so many resources from my Zhao family is that Han Ruoxuan is my fiancé. Those things should all be considered as betrothal gifts to the Han family. Now that the marriage is called off, won't you get your bride price back? Zhao Hengyan said jokingly. Yi Chen and others were stunned for a moment and thought about it carefully. That seems to be the truth. Wrong. Fang Lingling seemed to have thought of something. Hey, you said you would take back the betrothal gift given to the Han family. Then why are you talking about Han Ruoxuan's parents being seriously injured? After hearing this, Zhao Hengyan smiled and said immediately. Silly beep. When Yi Chen and the other 3 heard this, they felt as if they were struck by lightning and looked at each other in shock. Is this still the same Zhao Hengyan? Not only was his behavior overbearing, but his words were also so vulgar. Fang Lingling was stunned for a moment, then reacted and said angrily on the spot. Zhao Hengyan, what do you mean? No wonder Han Ruoxuan doesn't like you. One thing on the surface and another behind the scenes, now the true colors are finally revealed. I didn't expect you to be such a vulgar person, disgusting. Although Fang Lingling is not a child of one of those first-class aristocratic families, she is still a child of an aristocratic family. In addition, she has some beauty and has been popular since she was a child. No one has ever scolded her like this. I asked you, are you stupid? Use your brain and think about it. Why would we beat someone if our Zhao family just got their things back? It's not because the Han family used the Zhao family's reputation to arrogate themselves, and they owe a lot of debt. Of course creditors and enemies will come. Sure enough, you 3 can play together, you have the same brains. Zhao Hengyan mocked the 3 people crazily. Not for anything else, just for the villain value and luck value. Unconsciously, his luck value has reached 150, and his villain value has reached 3,000 points. Zhao Hengyan was shouting crazily in his heart, Yi Chen, push harder and push harder. The more angry you are, the happier I will be. The smile doesn't disappear but it transfers. Okay, if you have nothing to do, get out of here. Zhao Hengyan waved his hand and turned around to get in the car and leave. When Han Ruoxuan saw this, she immediately shouted, wait. Ruoxuan, what are you going to do? When Yi Chen saw this, he became anxious on the spot and shouted immediately. When Zhao Hengyan heard this, the corners of his mouth secretly raised, revealing an unnoticeable smile. He thought to himself, Han Ruoxuan is also a heroine and one of the children of destiny. If you don't kill her, you can still use her. Yi Chen, it wasn't that I wanted to target you, it was you who wanted to come to my door. Zhao Hengyan originally planned to use the plot in the original work to plunder luck. Take away his opportunity, take away his skills, and take away his friends first. I just didn't expect that the plot would change so much just after I came here. In this case, you have to make appropriate adjustments. In the original work, the relationship between Han Ruoxuan and Yi Chen is surprisingly good. Even one of the harem is the head of the harem. And there seems to be some chance for Han Ruoxuan to appear in the original work. Hey, Yi Chen. The water in Han Ruoxuan is too deep, you can't grasp it. Let me. Han Ruoxuan was still hesitating and struggling at this moment. Do you want to believe it again? After knowing Yi Chen for so long, he always manages to surprise himself. But now Zhao Hengyan was invisible to her, existing like a tall god. Once you make the wrong choice, the Han family will fall into a desperate situation. How about, trust Yi Chen again? Just when Han Ruoxuan turned around and was about to move her body towards Yi Chen, Zhao Hengyan, who was about to leave, suddenly spoke up. Do you want to admit your mistake? Then show me your attitude towards admitting your mistake. Then Zhao Hengyan turned around and stared at Han Ruoxuan's panicked eyes. Ruoxuan, you have to believe Yi Chen. How can you believe the words of a villain like Zhao Hengyan who doesn't keep his word? Fang Lingling also persuaded Yi Chen. She also believed in Yi Chen more than Zhao Hengyan. If it doesn't work out, I'll see if I can support you through my family's strength. Hearing this, Zhao Hengyan's eyes lit up. Yes, why did I forget the Fang family? In the original work, although the Fang family did not help Yi Chen so much, they stood by him at several critical moments. And at an auction, the Fang family provided him with a huge sum of money to win that opportunity. Zhao Hengyan then said with a devilish smile, "You only have one chance, if you make the wrong choice, it's gone. Also, please pay attention to what I'm saying. A mere member of the Fang family dares to ride on the head of the Zhao family." Zhao Hengyan's tone also increased a bit as he spoke. As soon as these words came out, Fang Lingling was also stunned. What do you mean, he also wants to attack the other party? Is the Zhao family so lawless? What do you mean? Zhao Hengyan, aren't you afraid of revenge for being such a domineering Zhao family? Fang Lingling's delicate body trembled, but she still held back her composure and accused Zhao Hengyan. Yi Chen heard this and said angrily, "The Zhao family is so despicable and shameless. You just dealt with the Han family and now you're dealing with the Fang family. Aren't you afraid that people from other families will unite to deal with the Zhao family?" Han Ruoxuan also panicked, but she didn't expect that she would also implicate the Fang family. If she made the wrong choice, would the Fang family be like the Han family? Fang Lingling was here to help her. If she brought the Fang family into an abyss of eternal destruction, she would feel bad for the rest of her life. Facing the verbal and written criticism from everyone, Zhao Hengyan did not make any counterattack. I saw him silently taking out his mobile phone and dialing a phone number. Soon a sweet female voice came from the other end of the phone. "Xiao Yan, what's wrong?" After hearing this familiar voice, Zhao Hengyan took a deep breath to adjust his emotions. Then he said in a vicissitudes of voice, "Sister Mengli, I was bullied. I'm not in a good mood right now, I'm afraid I'm depressed." Hearing this, Yi Chen and the others were immediately petrified. "What are you depressed about? You were bullied. Do you want to be ashamed?" Yi Chen almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. "Mad, you were bullied, so who slapped me in the face? You still have room to reason, what about me? Who in the family understands? Gas, cold, shake." What's even more annoying is that Zhao Hengyan still turned on the speakerphone in front of everyone for fear that they wouldn't know. "What, are you being bullied? Who dares to bully our young master, the Zhao family?" Only a cold voice with strong murderous intent came from the other end of the phone. Completely different from the sweet female voice just now. "Zhao Hengyan, you are so shameless, but I can't help you." Fang Lingling panicked, and suddenly she couldn't care less and yelled directly in front of her face. "It's the Fang family. Sister Mengli, you heard it too, right? I just went out to play, but when I came back, someone from the Fang family blocked the door. Just because I broke off the Han family's marriage, the Fang family stood up for Han Ruoxuan." Fang Lingling's mind went blank on the spot and she felt suffocated. Although she didn't know how scary the Zhao family was. But she has seen the power of a first-class family. Back then, a second-rate family provoked a first-rate family, and the end result was very tragic. The dead are dead, the dead are useless. However, due to Chinese rules prohibiting private fights, the first-class family was also punished by the officials. Now it has been reduced to the status of a second-rate family. But in a second-rate family, he is still the leader. But the Zhao family is much bigger than this first-class family. Because the Zhao family is relatively mysterious, the world only knows that the Zhao family is more terrifying than a first-class family. But no one knew how terrifying it was. Yesterday's Han family may not be able to prove anything, but today's Fang family may be the best proof. Fang Lingling was so frightened that she didn't know what to say. At this moment, her brain shut down. My whole body was numb, and the words were stuck in my throat but I couldn't get them out. "Okay, I get it. Sister Mengli, please stay a little longer." The next second, the phone was hung up. Fang Lingling's eyes suddenly turned black and she almost fainted. Everyone, including Yi Yuyan, was dumbfounded by Zhao Hengyan's move. Cruel, too cruel. Zhao Hengyan, this is a matter between me and you. Why do you want to involve Lingling? Han Ruoxuan said with scarlet eyes and a cry. Ha, do you think you know this is a matter between the two of us? As he spoke, Zhao Hengyan glanced in the direction of Yi Chen and Fang Lingling. The next second, Zhao Hengyan turned around, got in the car and left. I promise you, Han Ruoxuan cried loudly to Zhao Hengyan. As long as you let Lingling go, let go of the Han family and the Fang family, I will promise you anything. Hey, you're asking for a lot. Have you forgotten your identity? Zhao Hengyan looked at Han Ruoxuan with a sneer. After hearing this, Han Ruoxuan knelt down on the spot and said humbly, Young Master Zhao, I am sorry for you. Please be kind and let us go, okay? Zhao Hengyan was unmoved on the surface, but felt ecstatic in his heart. All three of them were controlled by me. Moreover, the system's beeps kept rising sharply. The villain value has reached over 5,000. Ding. Host, please keep it up. The system store can be opened when the villain value reaches 10,000. Yi Chen, not only am I cheated, but I also have a script. What can you use to fight me? Hearing the system's words, Zhao Hengyan suddenly felt a little swollen. Fang Lingling no longer had the arrogance she had just now, and she knelt down and even kowtowed. Young Master Zhao, I was the one who spoke loudly just now. Young Master Zhao, please forgive us once. It's not impossible to forgive you, but you have to show some sincerity first. After Zhao Hengyan finished speaking, he looked directly into Yi Chen's eyes that were about to spit out fire. Zhao Hengyan. Yi Chen clenched his fists tightly and roared softly. Yi Yuyan noticed the rising aura on his body, and a sneer appeared on her lips. Han Ruoxuan's heart was as sharp as a knife at this moment. If it weren't for her Han family, this wouldn't happen, and if it wasn't for her Fang family, it wouldn't be involved. She no longer had the previous idea of blaming Zhao Hengyan for everything, but changed to herself. Young Master Zhao, as long as you are willing to let us go, I will do anything. Even if I am a slave for eternity, I will have no complaints. After saying that, Han Ruoxuan kowtowed heavily. Zhao Hengyan said coldly, I'll give you a chance, but it depends on your performance. After saying that, he looked at Han Ruoxuan thoughtfully. Seeing this look, Han Ruoxuan seemed to understand something. Let's go to the Zhao mansion to talk about the apology. After speaking, Zhao Hengyan opened the car door and prepared to sit in. The next second, a terrifying spiritual power attacked him. Zhao Hengyan, go to hell. Yi Chen exploded all his strength at this moment, he was very confident. I feel that at such a close range, Zhao Hengyan can definitely be killed with one blow. Moreover, Yi Chen was particularly confident that Yi Yuyan was just an ordinary servant of the Zhao family with no fighting ability. Even if there is, he is not a big shot. When the two Han Ruoxuan girls saw this scene, their pupils shrank sharply. Don't want. Han Ruoxuan shouted hurriedly. She didn't know if Zhao Hengyan would be okay, but she knew. As long as something happens to Zhao Hengyan, they cannot bear the anger of the Zhao family. Maybe it will be fun for a while, but it's hard to say to your parents and clan members. At this moment, she didn't know why she felt a little disgusted with Yi Chen. Zhao Hengyan also felt strong killing intent, but he did not panic at all. Instead, he turned around and prepared to receive the fatal blow. Arrogant, Yi Chen saw that Zhao Hengyan did not have any defensive preparations or measures. Instead, he dared to face his blow. This move had 18 years of skill, and he didn't believe that Zhao Hengyan could catch it. Just when Yi Chen's fist was just a few centimeters away from Zhao Hengyan, suddenly another powerful spiritual energy burst out. Thump. The next second, Yi Chen changed from standing to kneeling. He knelt directly in front of Zhao Hengyan, but his hands still remained in this position. Yi Chen tried to move his hands or spiritual energy out, and tried to attack from a distance. Unfortunately, no matter what he tried, nothing happened. Even his body was out of control and he couldn't move. How is this possible? Yi Chen's spine felt as cold as if he had been plunged into an ice cellar. The level that can immobilize him must exceed his own 2 realms to do so. But Zhao Hengyan is just a fighting spirit. No. Yi Chen's face turned pale at this time, and his lips lost color. His whole body started to tremble unconsciously. Because he felt a very powerful aura. Even Han Ruoxuan who was present felt it. The three of them glanced at the ice-water beauty beside Zhao Hengyan. The next second, Yi Yuyan exploded all her cultivation without covering up. War Emperor! Fang Lingling exclaimed loudly in fright. This young and beautiful woman is actually the War Emperor. What kind of concept is this? They are all top figures in their family. He is the pillar of the family. Unexpectedly, he actually became Zhao Hengyan's protector. God, is the Zhao family so scary? The War Emperor actually used it as a protector for the junior. If Fang Lingling hadn't seen that her family and even other second-rate aristocratic families didn't have many War Emperors, she would have thought that the War Emperors were dead. Even Han Ruoxuan was extremely shocked. In the morning, this woman came to the house to break off the engagement, but her father felt a little panicked. She thought she was afraid of the Zhao family's identity, but she didn't expect to be afraid of this woman's cultivation. However, Han Ruoxuan felt that this was not Yi Yuyan's true strength. After all, his father was a half-step quasi-emperor, but he felt a sense of danger. Among the three people, Yi Chen was the most panicked. He thought about too many possibilities. He desperately thought that Yi Yuyan was a war sect, but he didn't expect that he was actually a war emperor. How can it be? Yi Chen's eyes were about to burst. He gritted his teeth and roared, "Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could he be the war emperor?" Don't blame Yi Chen, after all, except for his master and brothers. The highest combat power I have ever seen is the war emperor. And I've only seen one or two. But today, he actually happened to be Zhao Hengyan's guardian. Having said that, isn't it even more terrifying to protect Zhao Hengyan? If it weren't for Yi Yuyan's spiritual power, Yi Chen would have collapsed to the ground at this moment. Is the Zhao family so scary? What kind of force did he provoke? It's over, I may have to explain this here today. Zhao Hengyan laughed out loud when he saw everyone's shocked and confused expressions. What's wrong? Shocked? He's just a war king, not a top expert. Boom. As soon as these words came out, Han Ruoxuan and Fang Lingling realized how narrow their previous vision was. They were like frogs in a well at first, but now they seemed so ridiculous. Is this the horror of the Zhao family? Is this just the famous war emperor? Yu Yan, take him with you. After saying that, Zhao Hengyan started the vehicle and sounded the horn. After hearing this, Han Ruoxuan looked in the direction of Zhao Hengyan and saw the look Yi Yuyan gave her. She understood something immediately, so she put away her past arrogance and calmed down her temper. With his head lowered, he cautiously walked towards Zhao Hengyan and got into the passenger seat. Boom. As the roar sounded, the car left the spot in the blink of an eye. No. Yi Chen suddenly let out a wail when he saw Han Ruoxuan sitting on the passenger seat of the man. At this moment, Yi Chen's heart was bleeding. It hurts so much. On the way back, Zhao Hengyan heard the frantic notification tone from the system. Ding. Feeling the protagonist suffer a major blow creates great anger. The host gains 300 luck points and 1,500 villain points. This has 300 luck points and 1,500 villain points. Zhao Hengyan thought to himself, don't worry, there is more. Yi Chen looked at the car shadow that was getting further away, and gradually felt out of breath. Zhao Hengyan, wait for me. Yi Chen had already sentenced Zhao Hengyan to death 180 times in his heart. Suddenly, he noticed that the pressure that had been pressing on him disappeared. Just as he was about to get up and leave, a cold voice sounded. Don't worry, come with me. I saw a jade hand grabbing his collar, and the next second Yi Chen jumped into the air and flew in the direction of Zhao Hengyan. It's none of your business here. If you don't want to die, get out. Yi Yuyan said coldly to Fang Lingling, who was still kneeling on the ground. Hearing Yi Yuyan's words, Fang Lingling woke up from a dream. Recover from the shock of the scene just now. Suddenly, something came to her mind. Right, Fang family. So Fang Lingling stood up immediately and ran towards home with all her strength. Only then did she realize that she had to go back and take a look. I don't know if anything happened to the Fang family, or if it would be worse than the Han family. Fang Lingling was getting more and more panicked at this moment. He was even prepared to ignite his essence and blood to speed himself up. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.